be denials coming in from the police. At least I have been a witness to the Chiboko squad the day they all came out like a swarm of bees from the lower gate of Central Police Station in Kampala, wielding sticks and beating everything in its wake, including the gentleman I was standing right next to. How I survived the beating, then I am still wondering how lucky the gods shone on me at that time. And they beat people so ferociously and spread themselves thin throughout the precincts of Central Police Station, went down to Pioneer Mall, came up to the Danish Embassy, and went through City Square, beating up everything. And the next moment, as we interviewed the police as to why they had allowed this paramilitary group, because we didn't see anything about them that, you know, distinguished them as legal law enforcement, the police looked us in the face, looked cameras into the lens and said, we have no idea where these characters came from. We have no idea what they were doing, but we were unable to stop them in their rampage. And it's the same story playing many years down the road. You can't tell me, like you said, as picture says 1,000 words. These are masked men wearing black standing right next to a police truck. I, Simon Kasiate, in my sweat, in my sweat and debonair style now this morning with a bow tie and jacket, would not stand next to a police member for 5 seconds before someone comes to shove me off and ask me what I'm doing there. But these are characters in black, masked to the teeth.
And they were driving in a car that had no registration plate.
And the police says they no, that is the incompetence of the highest order of the parts of the police.
But
also disingenuity.
What if police welcomes anyone who helps them do their job? And
then admit.
So this is the job of the police, where you start beating up innocent
policemen do this worse than what the masked men were doing.
That can be a different debate altogether.
People who are causing chaos, and police says, oh, okay, these guys are on our side. Let's allow them to help us.
But you know the problem. Police is not even
what is the problem? What is the problem? Is it because they are masked, or is it because
what they were doing is illegal?
What are they doing?
They were border guys that were just simply following BCG. For whatever reason, they love the man.
How come when
you rain on
police
them and
beats
begin
people,
to beat them?
You don't complain?
But we always do as well. Our only challenge here is, you see, when police does that, they can use the exculpation of we are law, enforcers and stuff like that. We can have that debate.
Brian,
but who are these?
Brian, have you looked at the boots of this guy?
Who are these guys?
Well, this guy, his boots, he's in the police. The boots are
he's
military.
In what? Military. So you're telling us that they are police officers?
Well, you see, for me the point is, I don't like us, for example, when the police beats people, does exactly what these men were doing, okay? We somehow seem fine with it.
Are you kidding?
Are we fine with the fact that?
Are
we fine with the fact that they were wearing? What is wrong? Is it the masks?
You've asked your question. Now let me answer it. With a police officer that is in uniform and possibly a name tag, beating a one Brian Mulondo, at least I know somebody should take responsibility. Exactly. I will go to the police and say, police officer so and so, or a gentleman in a police uniform has done the following things. Now, a character like this one, dressed the way he is, to what point of accountability do I take them? We went to the police thinking that they were a police wing that is not allowed to wear uniform.
Police officers,
and the police has denied
commandeered by police.
You see? No, but you see, the police has denied knowledge of them, and that is where the problem is. But anyway,
this is where we are going.
That is a story that is.
First, listen.
This is where we are going.
First, listen, gentlemen, listen. This is where we're going. If one, of course, if police does not tell us who these people are, some people out there, just like these men decided to help the police, some people are going to look for these men.
I'm actually wondering why then police keeps complaining about Chifesi, because these hooligans, they are doing what Chifesi always does.
Brian,
but police is looking for Chifesi. But these guys were with you. Why didn't you arrest them?
Don't overestimate. Don't try to hold you down as if you are such a vengeful lot and all that. The leader of the Chiboko squad is known. He came out and gave press interviews. He lives happily and survives in this town. Nobody has come to him, attacked him in a form of retribution. This is just going to be a puff in the wind, as they say. We will talk about it for today, just like we've been talking about the cancer machine, and we'll go away. That's how we've been talking about the Isimba Shodi work, even with people now allegedly being suspended by the president. We are always looking for the next thing to talk about, and we just talk and talk and talk and talk. Good morning, let's take a short break. When we return, it's more about the press review here on Morning.
We'll be talking.
We'll be talking. And indeed, like we said as we came in for this just bumper break, the Daily Monitor this morning is headlining with this story. Police disowns masked goons. Get yourself a copy and read about them. This is a story that every one of us is now an expert on. You have your own opinion, so you can talk and talk.
What do you do when you see this? Okay, should we go on the streets and task police? Should we sue Kali Kaihura?
When have you ever
listen,
sued as Ugandans for anything?
Listen. Because obviously everything is coming from bad to worse, okay? And now, anyone who wants to help police can now go. So, one, what can you do as a Ugandan? Can you sue the police? Or, like I told you, a few responsible Ugandans who are not like us, who, in fact, for me, I was even thinking there's too much, for lack of better, Twitterism. So I saw many people talking about this on Twitter, and that's where it's
We've seen people do
Focus.
heinous things here. We've seen heinous things here.
Don't joke with
We
people,
shall
by the
cast
way.
these people.
But you know what's going to happen,
But
by the
anyway.
way? I'm assuming now, if tomorrow by some chance I'm on Kampala Road and then one of these guys comes, you see, when a police officer attacks me and beats me, I'll not fight back. I'll try and use the law. But you see, if this guy, now that they've been disowned, comes and hits me, if I size myself up with this guy and I see I can manage him,
You beat him.
I'll beat him up properly. Because he's not a police officer, police has disowned him, so I'll defend myself by doing what? By beating him, which I can't do with the police officer. Police officer, you beat me up, I'll take you to
But
court.
also sometimes
But now this one,
it depends also on the size of the police officer. For some people, if the police officer looks small and he didn't have a gun,
you will show him that.
Yes, we got down, my friend.
Joel,
I don't take
Joel,
it like
let's
down.
not sit
But
here because we have the opportunity of platform to try and start swaying in our in our.
What point are you making? Stop stammering.
No, I'm trying to find a description of the fallacious statement you're just making.
It's not a fallacious one.
When Joel Senyonyi, have you ever, you as an individual, small, tiny, and incapable of even stepping on a ripe banana to bust it out of its shell, ever been able to defend yourself?
Well,
Don't-
because I'm always
don't-
on the right side of the law.
You know-
You, the other day, we rescued you from police. Why you were fighting with a security guard who left you with an injury?
You see,
Then
no.
I'm
Listen,
always on the right
listen,
side
listen,
of the law,
listen.
so.
At least here is somebody that. No, you're not always on the
No,
right side of the law.
Joel,
You're always a very hen-pecked coward. You never stand up to even fight about anything that you care about. You always get.
This guy is like one of
you know,
those goons.
you
By
see,
the way, look at this guy
you know-
carefully.
You know,
And look at him.
Look at this Joel.
Just
man.
turn those
Joel
shades
said you will
black.
use bombastic ones to defend himself.
And
also that's
unless
a
to
tool,
defend
that's a
yourself,
tool.
to beat the police or the goon is by throwing kleptomaniac, lacuna.
What to let you at duty?
Cancer patients are exposed to radiation, says the Atomic Body, and this is the story that we continue to look out for. It's also here in the Daily Monitor about the dangers of radiation machines, whereas we have this machine that is not functioning properly, but we also know for a fact that some of these machines across the country that have radiations seem to infect the patients rather than, for the most part, cure them of their ailments, and the story is here disturbing here in the Daily Monitor.
Actually, they talk about that very machine that broke down. It was recommended to be decommissioned in 2012, but it was not. That did not happen. So
But
it kept being
you see,
used, and it was affecting people.
now for me, this is where I have a problem. How come no one has been thanking Mulago Hospital for giving free treatment, not just to Ugandans, but Rwanda, Congo? People come here to get treatment. And now we are shouting.
Who
when a
tells you
machine
we are
has
in the
broken
business
down.
of talking about good news?
Let's do
I'll give
that
you an
maybe.
example. The electricity
But
tariff,
it's
for
even
example, has gone low. There've been adverts in newspapers, there's been talk on social media and all that. The electricity tariff has been reduced.
Have you written it in
Listen,
English?
We saw it in the newspaper.
You
the
just
other day I
said
talked
it
about
the
it.
other day. You are not here
Listen,
anyway, so.
Even when I'm
But you
not
see,
here,
because
Brian,
that's the
let's
You are not
expected.
here, but we said all this.
Brian,
is
Brian,
Simon, when
Brian,
you
Brian,
come here
Brian,
early
no,
every day,
Brian.
nobody's going to send you applauses. When you delay,
Can I make my point?
How
here?
much is the unit?
Brian, it was 650 something. It has gone down by about 10 shillings. But guess what? Yeah, but guess what? Listen, but guess what?
Did you join Fan
Wait a
Factory?
minute. Listen.
this is
When
the
it
day
goes
You have
up,
become,
when it goes up by
5
It-
shillings.
not 5 shillings, a cent, 1 cent like this. Let this tariff, as it is, go up by
Pasian.
1 cent. The staccato of noise that is made across the board is out of question.
So
So
what
what I'm
I'm
saying,
telling me you've increased my salary. Then you write a report and say we've increased your salary by 20K, but with our tax is 17,000. What have you done? Keep
tax,
your money.
No, has tax increased on electricity? You see, Brian, Brian, make no mistake. There's hundreds of thousands, perhaps even more people who possibly would want to hold you in some level of intellectual understanding. So when you start
to abuse.
no,
I don't talking like that.
Brian, taxes have not increased the last I checked. It is still the same service fee on electricity of 3,300 and something. It is still the 18% VAT. But now the tariff has gone down by a couple of shillings. That is a reduction in absolute terms.
So for
nobody
you,
is talking about it.
So we should send
For
you
you,
people
the
flowers.
bottom line
No,
is the
we are not saying
reduction.
that. No, we are not sending us roses. It's just to tell you the cycle of we Ugandans.
So for you,
when
But
something
see,
good happens,
I'll tell you also.
like you said rightly, when I come here early enough, perhaps even earlier than I should.
That's what you're
That's the right
supposed
thing
to
to
do.
do.
When you
Exactly.
delay, then we shall hound you.
Absolutely.
And then you won't complain that, you see, when I come early, you don't say thank you. Are you kidding me? Look, for me, I like to extricate myself from people who, and often you like to hear government.
Can
You know,
you speak
when we put
English?
up a road here, you don't thank us. Are you kidding me? That's what you're supposed to
Now,
do.
but this
when
is
you
the
don't
point,
put up the
Joel.
road, then we shall hound you.
but-
for our tax money.
Loud Joel. What I'm saying is, no one is talking about thanks. I didn't say thank the Electricity Regulatory Authority for
Looks
this
like you
tariff.
want it.
No, I simply said nobody is talking about it.
no
Don't
one
thank.
recognized it.
Nobody even, not even recognize it. Just take cognizance.
But you see, once we
cognizance
begin
of
to,
it.
you know, talk a great deal about this, you know, when something good is done here, and then we make a big deal out
And
of
you
it,
know
then
what?
there is a problem,
So,
by the
so
way.
now we've reached the point where we are like, as I said earlier on, talk for all I care.
Well, maybe it's
clearly.
working because
Clearly.
now the tariff has been reduced after the too much talk.
It's not about
But
talk,
what
by the way.
talk
You know
was
that the
there?
dollar has
Those-
gone down,
yeah.
for example. So other exogenous forces that determine your tariff have come into play. And they have been considered. Next time it goes up, you will also look at what the dollar rate is like. That's why,
So-
for
so
example,
when
your
do
pump
this-
prices of fuel have also gone down.
When do these forces become so intense that the tariff is cut by 200 shillings?
Too hard.
Never.
Perhaps when Lukwago returns to office,
Never,
because government has
probably.
stopped Lukwago from returning to office. This is not about to end, clearly. And talking of taxes, broadcasters have rejected a UCC
Kashate's
levy.
best friend.
They wanted to add another 2% on the gross income.
Why don't you tell Lukwago to wait till he swears in like he was told?
Isn't he the Lord Mayor currently?
He's Lord Mayor elect. Yes, not yet.
Who is the Lord Mayor of Kampala? Leave alone Lord Mayor elect.
There is no Lord
That-
Mayor.
That's according
there's
to
no
what?
Lord Mayor.
According
It's
to
in
the law.
The case,
Which
the
law?
case,
The law.
Which case are you talking about?
The case is in court. They
Which
told
case
him
is
to
in court?
wait for
Which particular
for
case
the-
is in court?
that is
No,
not
it's good
Lord
to talk
Mayor.
with facts. Anyway, let's
Let
move on.
Lukwago
Jambo
start
goes-
his office at his home. The councillors can go to his home.
Is that where council meetings are supposed to happen?
Oh, please. Council
So I can
meetings
decide that my
happen
house has
anywhere.
now become state house, eh?
Yes.
It's on page 7 here. The Daily Monitor is telling us how the new Nile Bridge is on course. Aren't you glad, Yunra, that this story of yours of a bridge being on course is on page 7? Usually such good news stories are somewhere between the horoscope and sports pages or somewhere before the Sudoku pages. That is the psych of us.
We
But
should get
should
used
there
to the
be,
right things
but
happening.
should there be a crack on this Nile
Oh,
Bridge?
yes, we shall make noise about it.
New Nile Bridge on
Oh,
the
yeah,
front page.
because that's a huge
Cracked
risk.
up.
These right things are supposed to happen on a
be
daily. They shouldn't
ca-
make
cardinal
so,
quiz.
you know,
Yeah, you're
top
very right.
story
That's what I'm
news.
telling you.
But
That
you-
you should pay a lot of keen interest on, for example, the red flag that was raised over the shoddy works at Karuma and Isimba.
Well, I
Have
see
you
the
heard?
president seems to be taking some action. Let's see how this goes.
What
Have you
action?
heard?
They've suspended 3 engineers, lead
We
engineers.
had-
Who are the engineers?
One
Forget the
engineer, Paul
names.
Mobile. Yeah, I have them at the top of my fingers. Who oscillates between being the permanent secretary and something else, but is one of the
He's
top
actually
engineers.
acting permanent secretary and then head.
Exactly.
one of
But
those
even
things.
as his acting permanent secretary, there's a substantive permanent secretary called Karisa Kabagambe. Make no mistake. Then we've got this engineer who's in charge of hydroelectricity and things of that nature.
There was an engineer lady as well. among
Wait,
them.
I'm bringing you down here. Henry Bidasan. Then there's engineer Henry, Cedia Menya, also suspended. We are hoping that these reports are in fact true, because then, again, nobody will say much about it because President Museveni now has acted on corrupt officials or allegedly to be corrupt officials. Officials have not done their work very well. When he doesn't do anything, ho ho ho!
Of course.
So there we have it. Talking about
But
which
you are copy. You're not talking about the
What,
Kabaka celebrating 61 years. You look 70, yet you are such a young man.
wait a minute. it is you supposed to, what do they used to call them? Jesters in the king's palace? Jesters are people who are out there to amuse royalty, right?
He wants to abuse your
No.
kabaka the way he's talking.
No.
You
coward.
No, the likes of Mulondo are jesters.
If you are masked, then we come for you.
in the king's court. We kings, you know, like my colleague, Sabasaja,
nonsense.
born in April, my other colleague,
the president.
But then your luck is that my two baby sisters are also born in April, same week. So
never to mention, drop that. My two sisters, 2 years apart each, were born on the same day in April.
okay, good for you.
So you can't beat
At least that buttresses
now,
you a
so
little.
you're
Otherwise,
Anyway,
subsidizing
away
the
from that. So please. Electricity that you blew without using constructively. You leave your appliances off at the appliance point but on at the switch point. The electricity is being conducted at that point. You have bulbs with wattages that you don't need in a house. You have got irresponsible habits like leaving flat irons on. Then you also
those
have
ones chew electricity by the way.
then you have 1 5-liter jerrycan of water, 2 onions and 1 half egg in the fridge, and somehow the fridge is running
It's running the
24/7.
whole day.
No, we need to be responsible consumers of electricity so that we pay exactly for that electricity that we constructively use. Also importantly, you, Joel, who likes having your shirt so well pressed that one fears to stand next to you lest they cut by the edges of the shirt. Don't iron
Why are you
your
chasing
shirt
away ladies
during
from me
the
that
day,
they'll get
Joel.
cut?
Iron your shirt. Normally after your news bulletin here on NTV at about midnight, between midnight and morning, that time you pay a lot less for your ironing bill than you would during peak or load hours. That is between about 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. in the night. Don't iron your shirt around that time. Iron after 10 p.m. towards midnight, after midnight.
So we should do this as we sign out, I think.
I didn't read the quote of the day. I need to. All right, tell us that.
This is critical.
Please.
The front page of the Daily Monitor says ERA reduces power tariffs. Where
Actually, I thought
can
you
you
were going to
put?
do something awesome.
Yeah, can you put? Yeah, there. That's what Kasiate wants. So I hope the
amazing.
editor does that.
And it's
yeah.
next to his masked face.
Yeah, so
All right, the quote of the day
I
is made
told
by
you
Kiza
about
Besigye on the
jesters.
Bush War. He says, if it was not for God, all of us, including Mr. Museveni, would not have come from the bush. It was not Sabalwanyi that we won. It was not because of Sabalwanyi that we won the
I hope the same Besigye knows that it is because of God that he has been able to register the results that he has been registering for the last 4 attempts at the presidency. Good morning, we'll take a short break. When we return, it will be a look at what's making it to the big story. And what the big story is a conversation that seems to be rearing its ugly head in the August House. Members of Parliament seem to be eyeing a certain section
But
of
you're
the
going to say
income
ugly
tax.
house.
That too. And they are looking at ways of making an amendment to it so that Parliament is one of the agencies which are tax exempt. Never mind that members of Parliament are some of the most highly paid folks, but they still don't want to pay a tax to the government on that high remuneration. We'll be right back. It's Morning at NTV.
You're watching Morning at NTV with Simon Kasiate, Mabel Kebirunji, and Brian Mulondo.
I use the 500 shillings daily bundle.
I use the monthly bundle with 1 GB data.
Wait! AfriCell has all internet bundles.
Really?
Yes, all internet bundles from 10 MB to 100 GB from 1 hour to 1 year on the widest coverage at the cheapest price ever.
Wow!
Dial star 133 hash now and select the bundle you need with the fastest speed and the best quality.
So AfriCell is really the king of the bundles.
Isa yalagula Yesu ngali je mabega akali mu bufunzi
Yesu ne Isa ani yasookawo munne
Isa
buli lwotayogera na muntu kutegeera bimukwata kutosobola kumutegeera yenna tekisoboka
era edako yakatugamba nti Abaganda mbwanjala jakasukira eggumba gyegenda kala kagamba akukano
obote wateekwa okubaawo eddoboozi abantu lye bakozesa eddoboozi abantu lye bakozesa okutuusa okunnyonnyola kwabwe okutegeerekeka okutangaza bye bakwatako Conqueror of the British Empire. naye nga waka mubimuyita waka mwamuyitanga mutya.
The Go mobile app, you can create news by capturing and sharing content instantly. Simply download the NTV Go app on Google Play Store. Go to the N Reporter feature and start reporting as the news happens. We will air your story on a special TV program. NTV Go also allows you to watch news, instant live updates, and follow your favorite show from the comfort of your home, taxi, or your favorite kafunda. Download NTV Go app now from Play Store.
Wanna make some cash? Just dial *185#.
Okay, ndi musanhufu ino kuba nti ndi mu Airtel yola amaja nkozesa Airtel money okusendika sente okutoola ku okusendika airtime gondi MBs kale ndi musanhufu ino kubanga nagwire nabeyendi awo bankubira isimu nti ndi muwanguzi amelaka winner mu Airtel yola amaja.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
This week on T Nation.
Random and funny right here.
You tell your crew, I tell my crew, we party all night.
Catch a brand new episode of T Nation every Saturday at 11 a.m. only on NTV.
You're watching Morning at NTV with Simon Kasiate, Mabel Kebirunji, and Brian Mulondo.
A very good morning and welcome to this edition of Morning at NTV. It's the big story this bit overcast, rainy morning in Kampala where we're broadcasting from. We only hope that it's only better where you are, you're keeping yourself warm and the rains, a much needed refreshment from the heat and sunshine rays that we've enjoyed in the past couple of months. A log of organizations or institutions which are tax exempt. We're talking about diplomatic missions, perhaps even churches if you may, but I know they also pay some holding taxes on here and there. And this state of affairs is creating some bit of crying hue in sections of the public. This morning, we are looking at this idea. Is it that the members of parliament indeed mean well, like they say when they are out campaigning and canvassing for votes for the good of this country? We'll be asking ourselves one critical question. If you are unable to pay any taxes to a government, what locus standi or what moral authority do you have to criticize it on service delivery? These members of parliament, when they put themselves above everybody else, that we, the ordinary folk, must pay taxes, and for them, fat cats as they want to, appear, don't want to pay any taxes to the state. What does that mean for the issue or on the question of equity and equality in this country? For that and more, we'll have this discussion around about in the big story. Jen Nalunga, you're the country director of an organization, a civil society organization that has a long name, Southern and Eastern Africa Trade Information Negotiations Institution, but you're acronymed as CIATINI. Yes. You're one of the conglomerate of civil society organizations that are up in arms as a way of speaking against this wanton and, for the most part, brazen move by the parliament to put themselves at the point of tax exemption. What is the beef here?
I think you have, okay, good morning, our viewers, ladies and gentlemen. I think you have talked about the beef really. If all of us as Ugandans are paying taxes really, why shouldn't members of parliament pay taxes? But then also, when you really look at the list of emoluments they are getting, I don't know whether this is right or wrong. You know, yesterday everybody was sending in information. They also supposed to get this and that. When you look at the list, there is mileage facilitation, 4.5 million, cow grant.
Also maybe put in and the members of parliament want that money not to go to government coffers so that it can be used to deliver the much needed health, education and other social
water,
services.
Exactly.
But now this obviously is subject for talk and we are angry as a people. But what beyond talking and getting angry are we going to do to ensure that this
you know, as civil society, you know, when you look at the social media, people are talking, but again, the social media
there's just 1 million of them,
exactly.
And the ones who are talking about 500.
So what we are looking at is to mobilize the people. People need to know what's going on. The people who voted these people.
And when they know what's going on, what do you think these people who voted on?
You know, we are looking at a number of options. One, we are looking taxes, you know, on whatever I eat, sugar, all that I'm paying taxes.
But the members of parliament
and
also
you are
pay
not
taxes
paying.
on the same. No, let's not mix things here, Jen. Members of parliament also consume, they got the same supermarkets like we do. And so they pay taxes on the consumer goods they put in.
Exactly.
I think the beef should be on their earnings.
Exactly.
Members of parliament earn more than the average voter.
Exactly.
Far more than the average voter.
And they are not paying, and that's the crux of the matter. You and me, is there any emolument which you get you don't pay? You
don't
know?
even tell me.
We are
Sometimes
paying
I feel
taxes.
I'm overbled.
You know, and also the problem is that these are the people who are doing the oversight. You know, how are they going to demand that there should be social services? You know, when you're not paying taxes, and you know, taxes, that's the social contract between me and government, and that's what makes me a citizen. I'm a citizen of Uganda because I pay taxes, and I can be able to demand for social services. But
so in other words, members of parliament are trying to disenfranchise themselves
that they are not
of their citizenry.
Exactly.
Ooh, what a shame. But you see, you will empower Ugandans with all this information, stir their anger, and then go to court. This lasts how many years is going on? Meanwhile, they are enjoying tax-free. Parliament is becoming a duty-free center, if you may. But there must be some quick wins and quick gains that we can make out of this to avert the situation, Jen.
Yeah, but I think we need also to put this in the public domain, you know, and let people also, because the problem with all these things we are talking about, sometimes we leave them in Kampala, talking on NTV and all that.
Just so you are reminded, NTV is being watched right now in the farthest nook and corner of this country.
I know, but how many people, but how many, you know, how many people are watching us now in Karamoja, my home in Masaka?
I hope you will realize that, in fact, there are more people watching NTV than there are on social media.
Really?
Only that in social media, they are the loudest because you hear them. In
exactly,
TV,
you don't. Okay, point taken.
Thank you, Jen.
But what I'm saying is that we need to be able to give people information about all these monies, really. Like you are saying, to steer, let people be angry. You know, Ugandans, the problem we have, we never get angry. And this is what you have been talking about. Somebody beats you up, he's in a mask, you can see he's a policeman, the police says that he isn't one of us, and we continue, okay.
We go to a next subject.
Yes. Another one, you are beaten, you clean yourself up, you wake up and, you know.
And
life
now we are going
goes
to
on.
bleed financially because we have
Exactly.
sustained a huge parliament here that does not want to contribute to the...
Exactly. And we need to be able to say, Ugandans, really, enough is enough. You know?
Jen, you see, like they always say in this long story of who bears the cat.
Exactly.
Oftentimes, we Ugandans are looking for that spark that will get us into action. So you are Siatini and your other conglomerate of civil society organizations who are concerned. ICCS BAG is issuing statements left, right, and center. Is there something you're planning? Maybe a demonstration, something that will at least shake some people in their pants?
You know, we are, because the moment we say it's a CS BAG, the conglomerate you are talking about, we are going to demonstrate. They wait. Maybe police will be there. You need to get a police clearance and all that, and you know. But for us, what we are planning really is to be able, for the Ugandans, to be able to rise in their own constituencies, confront the members of parliament in their constituencies.
But also, sometimes doesn't it bother you that even the same voters you are asking to raise against the members of parliament also don't have the moral authority to ask the member of parliament such questions? Because the member of parliament won their seat by literally buying the vote. And you know that these things happen. They gave you sugar, they gave you salt, they gave you...
Those were gifts. If you are giving me a gift and it doesn't mean that you are going to milk me so that you take all my money, so that there is no choking, there are no classes, no education, no health, no nursing.
You know, Jen, we were having a side banter before we started the program. You were wondering about our bar stools here. Let me give you the psychology of a bar. When you go to a bar with me and I offer a drink.
We say when are we doing that?
Well, perhaps after here.
Okay.
When we go to the bar and I offer a drink and I offer another drink, because it's a gift to you, that gift may compromise your ability to question my ideas as I speak in the bar, even when they are strongly at variance with your own held ideas.
You know, it depends.
So many Ugandans find themselves in that situation, where they have been bought by these politicians. The politicians have taken the ultimate reward, which is getting to these offices, and it's now time to enrich themselves. And that's why I think for the most part, they treat us with contempt, because they say, look, we bought you, give us our time to loot.
No, but looting from where? Because you see, what Ugandans need to understand, that all these monies, that's our money. It's me, the taxpayer. It's my money. And if I go to hospital and there are no drugs, and you are fattening, you are driving a big car, people need to be able to know that's my money. I can't take my child to school because you are taking my money. You know? So if it can sink in our minds as Ugandans,
that my miseries today are because someone is profiteering illicitly. They are not paying.
Whether you gave me a kilo of sugar or not, it's material, then we can be able to rise up as Ugandans.
But have you also taken this discussion to members of parliament themselves, the vampires themselves, and tried to convince them against the sucking of blood?
Yeah, we are planning to do that.
Because I think they also need information. Some of them innocently are just following a bunch of greed. You know, they've been calling themselves greedy and all sorts of things. I saw one of them calling the other their deputy greedy and all that. So they use all sorts of language. That's why I'm not apologetic to call members of parliament greedy, because after all, you know who has been
said. They sold off their houses, their wives, they sold off everything for the sake of coming into parliament.
Indeed.
And they need to recoup their money. And then also, maybe we need to go back to the Constitution. The Constitution allows these people to set their emoluments. Really, Mr. Kasiate, you are here. Somebody says, your boss says, you say, how much do you want? How much do you want?
Jen, don't ask me. I will give you a figure, you will be able to write it on a small piece of paper.
Exactly. You see? So all of us
to create perspective to some of these issues that happen on a daily. For example, you're telling us that in the 2016-2017 financial year budget, the government is in about a 35 million shillings shortfall to recruit some much needed 3,000 plus health workers. That means that if the government is unable to collect this 41 billion plus in pay as you earn for members of parliament, this plan is crippled completely. And yet these are the same members of parliament whose constituents need
that.
But also
they
themselves need these health workers.
And they also even have children who are health workers, nurses, whom they have taken to school, who don't have jobs. You see? So I think they also need to understand, you know?
That's what you just preempted my question. I think more than say we will demonstrate, name and shame them, I think importantly these members of parliament are suffering from a deficiency of information on the malaise of what they are moving.
The malaise.
They are looking at very short-term gains in terms of not paying taxes, but they are forgetting the long-term
the bigger picture. That's true. They are because, like I said, you know, all of us, if I say I need this money, you don't look at the bigger picture. What are the implications if I get all this money on health, on my family? So we need to appeal to that nature. So the other, if it doesn't work, then we need plan B and plan C. But we are going to start with that, to look at the implication. You know, recently, again in the media, there was the issue of graduated tax. Again, we are culprits on that, you know, saying that how do we bring back this colonial tax and all that. But what we are saying also is that all Ugandan should pay a direct tax from your pocket.
To paying you to the extent that you have your citizenry right and voice to demand for services.
So if every Ugandan was paying that tax, this campaign would be easier, you know? Because what we are looking at is a tax should also help us to, you know, that role of citizenship, help us in issues of governance, demanding for democratic accountability, demanding for transparency.
Jen, you know they say that what is not measured indeed cannot be done.
Exactly.
And for what is measured, there must be certain timelines. For the most part, you've been saying, we are going to, we are going to. I'm very much interested, Jane, in knowing what timelines are we looking at?
The timelines,
for example, I'll just give a name. This sensitization to members of parliament, which I want to think that is the first step. When do you hope to do this? Are you going to do this old folk of people where over 70% have lost their seats and they are in wind down, or you're going to wait for May when the new breed swears in and you take those ones on?
Because what we are looking at is because we understand through the grapevine that this amendment, the meeting is today. That's what we hear.
And we know that Minister of Finance comes in, Matia Kasaija, who brings in some of the
bills
to do with finance.
The tax,
the debate will start,
we start. Okay. So we are looking at mobilizing in districts.
But if the debate is today, Jane, we've not taken time to educate these members of parliament, to buy them, to do some of what we call stakeholder engagement.
We sent them some messages and all that.
How effective is that? You see, I never receive messages coming in here. Oh, wedding meeting launching, all that.
And you know, especially if they're asking you for money. And here we are telling these people, don't pay yourselves any more money.
So what appetite do they have to read your messages and take you seriously? You may need to do something. You see, you can.
What are you suggesting? Because we are in it together, you know. You also are Ugandan.
Yes.
What should we be doing?
Now, for me to give you my expert advice on what civil society organizations should do, Jane.
No, Ugandans, what Ugandans should do.
You're working at civil society organizations, not to miss this. My expert opinions could also come at a fee, only that I'm willing to pay taxes on that fee. But suffice to say, there could be a lot more engagement. I mean, you are a civil society organization, you're not short of ideas like you will have a sensitization seminar for all stakeholders and have a symposium for 3 days in a swanky hotel. But at least an action that will say, look, this is an information pack. You as members of parliament, when you do the things that you intend to do, one, you alienate yourself from being a true citizen because then you're not paying any taxes to the state. But also importantly, you look look ugly and greedy to the eyes of the electorate because they see you as vampires out to suck the little blood that's left in the national
There is no blood.
Absolutely. So, you know, you have to make the message hard, tough, and in fact disgusting and abusive to some of them. Nice way to start. But give yourself a timeline. Because if the debate's supposed to be today, perhaps this conversation should have taken place last week at the latest. After that, go down to the citizenry. Educate them and say, at least by May, let's ensure that we can only allow a member of parliament suggestions. Too little, too late.
No, they are not. It's never too late. It's never too late. And you know what? We understood, we got to know about this.
It's never too late.
It's through the grapevine.
Can I give you a Luganda adage that tells you even which beats the it's never too late thing? Linda Chigweyo. You may miss it. Well, as we conclude, Jen, on this issue of tax exemption to members of parliament, I mean, next we'll see other groups in government service asking for the same.
Yeah, they already, armed forces, by the way,
teachers.
Armed forces are exempted, by the way. And we talked about that also.
Exactly. So it seems like the scope is widening.
It's widening.
Perhaps even civil servants will start looking into that.
And then, you know the problem with the tax exemptions. Again, what they are going to do is to increase the indirect taxes, the VAT on electricity, on sugar. And again, it will be the poor people
that continue to pay.
Because, you know, you have heard of the Panama, the Panama leaks. You see now, the corporations, are also finding ways of dodging taxes through tax havens. The big fish, they are saying exempt us. So who is remaining? The poor, you and me. Pay as you earn, we pay all you earn, and the poor people who are going to pay, through.
It gets worse even before you think of getting better. But
and
also,
then,
if you're a Christian, you know that from biblical days, tax collectors were never very popular. A lot of people.
They were never. But now, what we are talking about is let everybody pay their fair share, And then, if we pay, then we can be able to demand for services.
Well, she couldn't have concluded better there. Jen Narunga, Country Director of Siatini, saying if it's a question of equity or equality for that matter, whichever way you want to look at it, at least let everybody pay. Let's take a breather. When we return, it's Simon Says.
You're watching Morning at NTV.
Just buy a Pepsi. SMS the...
This is you. Your friends. Your family. Your fellow Ugandans. All arising. Because when people get information that is incisive, in-depth, and analytical, people take action. People create change. NTV News. Moving Uganda.
You don't have to look any further. Get online and you'll get any property.
It's all about joinery. How best do you give a tree a very good second life?
Because there's already development happening around.
Say for example, carpets, pick luxurious carpet and you say, I've got to have a carpet wall-to-wall in my house, but we're a hot country.
Welcome to the Property Show, where we make real estate sense.
Raise the praise. Get inspiration. Rise up every morning with a song of praise to the Lord. A day in your courts is better than 1,000 elsewhere. Soul Moment, every Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
Isa yeyalagula Yesu ngali je mabega. Akali mu mufunzi.
Yesu ne Isa ani asookawo munne.
Isa.
Buli lw'otayogera na muntu kutegeera bimukwata kutosobola kumutegeera yenna tekisoboka.
Era endako yakatugamba nti Abaganda mbwanjala jakasukira eggumba gyegenda. Kala kagamba akukanono.
Obote. Wateekwa okubaawo eddoboozi abantu lye bakozesa. Eddoboozi abantu lye bakozesa okutuusa okunnyonnyola kwabwe okutegeerekeka okutangaza ebibakwatako. Conqueror of the British Empire. Naye nga Wakamu bimuyita, Wakamu amuyitanga mutya?
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. Kuwuliriza, kufumiitiriza, kukola, kwogera. Bina.
Tuwaye.
Bwe yamala okutuula ngenda okutunula mu kibatu kyange kino kyentaddeko bwendi nga muvaamu ebiwuka ng'ensolosozi.
Ebimu byewuunyisa binakuwaza ebirala bikyusa obulamu.
Omuntu atasomye atya n'okuyingira ofiisi naye ng'omanyi nti nina omukyala n'abaana awaka nakinkola nina ne bizinesi naye ntya n'okuyingira ofiisi eno okwennyonnyolako.
Eddoboozi lye njogerako. Tuwaye.
You can bring everybody in Parliament as long as they can wake up and vote for their NRM.
As long as the voters exercise their rights to elect their leaders, there was no need for term limits in Uganda.
I know him. I know how he operates. I know how he thinks.
There are ways you can go around these obstacles.
Why should I conduct myself as if I am Muyai?
It's absolutely true. I admired President Museveni.
Is the ICC a fascistic code targeting African leaders?
You cannot tell me that the whole trouble Kenya had revolved about only 2 individuals.
The money is not in the budget of this financial year.
You can't beat God. You see, God is polygamous also. Look at Jeremiah chapter 31.
The security of this country will largely depend on the contribution that the people make.
You know what they say about girls? Who cries more? Girls. Who does the chores? Girls. Who's the shopaholic? Girls. Who's all about selfies? Girls. Who brings the drama? Girls. But we want to show you our real world, where we're more than just girls. Introducing Spark TV, the first female channel in Uganda, made for you to bring out the best in you. Spark TV, it's your time.
Ekifo ekimu kissa wamusu n'ekyalo ekiweddeko abamanye bakiraza mumwa. Tugenda kutuuka gy'oli oyogere naffe ebikwata ku kyalo kyo, embeera mw'okolera, ebyobufuzi, ebyobulamu n'ensonga endala nnyingi. Ebyogerwa tebiyita. Tuusa eddoboozi lyo, yogera naffe buli lwakuna otereevu ku NTV akawungeezi.
Look at all the juices that are in there, and that is what I'm looking for. My goodness, look at that.
Accord, in partnership with Uganda National NGO Forum, are organizing a roundtable policy dialogue this Friday at 7 a.m. at Protea Hotel. Join us for this live broadcast discussing building bridges and partnerships for peace in KCCA, policy options for effective service delivery and economic transformation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jesus came to set you free and to be free indeed.
In life, you don't wait. There are certain times where you wait for certain decisions, but when it comes to taking action and choices, you have to move.
Jesus Christ found me, and he actually asked me a question, whether I wanted to live or to die.
Every day of my life was struggling. It's just that God has given me this kind of hope.
GXP every Sunday only on NTV, your official inspiration station.
This is you. Your friends. Your family. Your fellow Ugandans. All arising. Because when people get information that is incisive, in-depth, and analytical, people take action. People create change. NTV News. Moving Uganda.
You're watching Morning at NTV with Simon Kasiate, Mabel Kebirunji, and Brian Mulondo.
Well, glad to have your company. Thank you for joining us this Thursday, the 14th day of April. Another wet morning here in Kampala. Good news for some, not so good news for others. Well, today celebrating her 42nd birthday is the Brat. Now, some of you may actually not know her, and I can't believe she's 42, but she was indeed a force to reckon with in the mid-90s, well, I should say during the 90s and possibly early 2000s. Well, here she is with Tyrese with a beautiful song.
To succeed, busting kneecaps, cause greed is with me. Give me more cheddar than Ellie, no hillbilly from Beverly, heavily sedated, still hated and rated R. You the next victim, and if you flinch, you fall. I got the show shot method guaranteed to make them all pause. Peep the cars I'm in, uncountable amount of Benjamins, Benzines for all my friends. If it don't make dollars, you ain't making no kind of sense. Give a minute when it comes to stacking multiple chips. Try to take mine, to thy nine, be the glory, unloaded at the end of the story. I'm on top of the world. Sitting on top of the world. With 50 grand in my hands, 50 grand in my hands, sipping Hennessy and Coke, give me what you want. Sitting on top of the world. Sitting on top of the world. With my legs swinging, shoes jingling, baby. Go ahead, baby. Let me hit you with some real. It's the #1 contender, so deaf, member known as Brat. Girlfriend defender, cause they mans think I'm all that. Crystal in my lap, choking me, hoping we fall off, but we won't. All we do is keep. Well, all you do is keep looking at us. Known evidence is that I dispense hits and make more housequakes than Prince, leaving everybody dense. One of the baddest on the planet. Act like you know it's the funk bandit, damn it, and you can't stand it. You can run, but you can't hide from this bad-mannered individual. I care from the west side. Hit 'em up. I can't quit, slick like the bottom of some ostrich, holding your fans hostage from your boom. And it's written all over your face. You want my space, but ain't got what it takes to take my place. Sitting on top of the world. Sitting on top of the world. With 50 grand in my hands, 50 grand in my hands, sipping Hennessy and Coke, give you what you want. rough rhyme thrower, y'all busters can't see. Riding drop top roasters. The hair with all that gold stuff. Only triangles dangle when I bust. You see, people round town talk this and that. Said I sound like the pound and my shit was whack. Dropped the album Funkified and they thought it was gold. 30 days later, the LP went gold and
And that is the brat with Sitting on Top of the World, and she turns 42 today. If you are born this day, we do wish you a happy birthday. We also continue to celebrate, I guess, the Kabaka, who turned 61 this week. Well, on Everyday Life, we'll be talking about mother tongue, the advantages and disadvantages of mother tongue. Last month, some parents in Yumbe actually refused the thematic curriculum that has been introduced by the Ministry of Education. So we'll be asking you today, is it something that should be phased out, or is it something that the Ministry of Education should continue to push? Here on Everyday Life. Once again, a warm welcome to Morning at NTV. Time now for Everyday Life, and joining me is Mr. Brian Mulondo. Brian, good to see you.
Good to see you. You make it look like about what?
Yes. I mean, we rarely do this. We don't do this as often as we used to, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mabel.
Good morning. How have you been?
Awesome.
You swam
First
to
of
work
all,
today?
let me use this opportunity to tell everyone who lives around my area. First of all, who is responsible for working on the roads, like they're called feeder roads, right?
Yeah.
From the main road to someone's home. Yeah. Who is responsible for working?
Well,
is it the councillor
the town council?
The town council?
Yes.
So who is it?
Because
Mameri
told you know where I live. He
Yeah.
walked on our road that leads to our house. That was a year or so ago.
So I was just told yesterday that we have we have members of parliament who stay near me and I don't know them. But they are members of parliament for like Kasese, those ends. So I guess they don't care that the road is really bad.
You don't give them the vote.
I wouldn't vote for them even if I knew them, because, you know, they're in Kasese. But if you have such a bad road, you know, you've been at my house and people park up there and I have to walk through the mud. But so that yesterday it was terrible.
And the traffic was another story.
I didn't experience the traffic because I came out like at 11. But it was terrible. So yeah, if you're an MP and you stay near my home, I will make sure that I argue that you don't pay tax if you can work on the road.
Oh, and you have a great platform. You have a great platform. Well, today we'll be talking about mother tongue. A few years ago, the Ministry of Education introduced the thematic curriculum, saying, I think from the classes primary 1 to primary 4, those should be taught in the native tongue. And then the pupils do pick up English later and can take it on. But this is because I guess our mother tongue is actually dying. But parents in Yumbe have resisted that, and they say they do not want mother tongue anymore. They want their kids to be taught English right from, I guess, pre-primary on to the secondary school levels and all that. Basically, Brian, what do you think? Do you support the parents, or are you on the side of the Ministry of Education?
I am the kind of guy who thinks now that Uganda is no longer the space to work or even live. So for me, I believe that if you are progressive in your thinking, if you are progressive in your career, you should not be looking at this space. You can go to Kenya, you can go to Rwanda, you can go even to the Congo, you can go to Europe, you can go to America. And so I understand when Yumbe parents say, oh, hell no. Because first of all, some of them may not even be able to speak English. So you can't have, for lack of a better word, a double tragedy in the home. And so, you know, I've had people just, you know, saying that English is not important. How come the Chinese, you know, are being able to progress even without English? Like, but you're not a billion people. You're even, your population is the population of a state somewhere in Nigeria or in China, okay? And when there's 32 million people, they're like, oh my gosh, population is exploding. That's who you are. So you have nothing to compete. Like, why would we use Luganda? No. I don't want my child to go and speak Luganda. I'll teach my child Luganda at home, like I'm doing now. So I tell Blake a few words in Luganda, of course, because of his age. But the communication, most of the communication is in English, okay? And so for me, if you're progressive, that's where you need to go. Local languages, parents can teach those local languages. Why do you stress a child, what, 4 years, 5 years? Kindergarten, 4 years of local language, and when they go to primary school, you say they will pick it up, yet they are examined in English? I don't know. For me, I think it's not practical.
It's not practical. Well, we have a video that we shall play about now.
Casino Tazayoko, Otaria, Erita Caterito. Yeah, that is not our hand, thank you. Yamama Garanga, Musei, that is the president, Jasina Naxako. Jasina will find you.
I have seen him on WhatsApp.
Yes. Musei, I Rokureva. Orio, you and Kata, Nikureva TV, Nikureva Manana Munion, Norava Hotia Guru, when you and Axemero, Tajamero Kureva, you and Havana Vangina, no Rosaro Yanga, Nikatoton, when you go, Nachasina Yanga, when Akubatingo, when you work, Garka, no Zakusas Registry at Toposing, a Castle Fiaca, Otio, Noreva Hari, also my ring.
Very popular Katoto cartoons that have that are YouTube sensations, I should say. We're talking about mother tongue, and our phone lines are open. Feel free to call us right now. Now, we've heard from Brian, who says that, you know, if you want to be progressive, we don't actually need to know our mother tongue that much.
You can learn. You definitely, you have to learn. You know, I speak Luganda. In fact, on some platforms, I speak Luganda more than English. And some people are surprised to hear me speak English. When they see me on TV, you know, I'm squatulating, you know, the jewels of this world probably know better. They are surprised that I speak that good English, because with them, the interaction is purely Luganda. Some of the jobs that I've done, I've had to speak Luganda.
Okay. Yeah. Can I interrupt you? We have a caller on the line. Good morning. Do tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Good morning.
Hello, we can hear you. Please step away from your TV because of the delay.
Hello?
He's hearing himself.
Do go ahead with your question or comment and tell us your name.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Continue to the talk.
Please go on, but switch off your TV. Otherwise, we are going to switch you off.
Let me just move on because I can't switch off.
So please go on, submit. Tell us your comment.
Yeah, so I'm called Dr. Guang Patrick.
Yes, doctor.
I want to try to understand why Ministry of Education is recommending mother language for the early education. You know, I noticed that most times we are taught in English, but we just do not understand the language very well, even though we have been taught for long. For example, if you tell a child in the primary school that the part of the chicken is called a crop, you know where the stones and foods are stored first. Now the same word is used sort of for a plant, which is a crop. But if in a local language, the child, if we have our local language for that part of a chicken, and a child is taught that part in a local language, he or she will understand it much better than in English. So sometimes I'm also a teacher, but when I'm teaching, I translate certain English things in the local language, and the children understand it better. So I think while we should not drop English, we also need to promote the local language because it helps us understand concepts much better since the language that we grew up with. That's really my recommendation.
Okay.
But I agree with you that we are becoming global. We need English. Chinese are also learning English now. It's a fact. The whole world is going into English. However, we need a language that can make us understand subjects much easier than a foreign language we're trying to borrow. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. My challenge is this, Mabel. That yes, I will learn how to say embata, okay, in Luganda. I'll learn. What is embata in Ruchiga?
It's a duck.
But I will learn how to say embata.
Yes.
But you see, I won't be examined in Ruchiga. I won't be examined in Unyankore. My child won't be examined in Luganda unless he's taking Luganda as a subject.
Yeah, but the doctor was saying it helps them understand concepts better. But I think where maybe I'll disagree or differ with him is if the child has not been speaking that language from the start, teaching them P1 will not help them at all.
Yes.
Yeah. I believe we have another caller on the line. Good morning. We've lost that caller.
Okay, probably we need to mention to our viewers, when you're calling, the conversation is direct with us, all right? So because of where you live or which service provider, the pay TV that you have, there are differences in the broadcasting. So it may have a 10-second delay or an 8-second delay. So please just have the conversation on your phone. We get it. It will still be on TV, okay? To still be there. But otherwise, we're also getting lots of feedback in the studio and we'll switch you off.
Yeah. Now, for people in the village, one of the reasons I think why they prefer, some people, the proponents of mother tongue being taught the thematic curriculum, is because the parents can help them. You imagine your grandmother being able to teach you mathematics or helping you with your homework in the local language because it's something she knows and she's comfortable with. Don't you think that's an advantage?
But it's not the mother who is examinable. Again.
No, but she's able to help. Your son is going to go to school. You're going to help him with his homework.
Yes, but I'm not going to help him in Luganda.
No. But in the villages, those people living with their parents or grandparents, imagine teaching, you go home with summation, FX, okay, that's a bit complicated. But with homework, if your mother is able to read, for instance, the local language, your grandmother, your aunt is able to read the local language, they will be able to help you with your homework, as opposed to if it is just in English. They'll not be able to help you with your homework.
But that's selfish. That is very selfish, I think. Yes, we are trying to have a holistic education. I have friends who don't go back home. They make sure they call home and find out if the kids are asleep because they don't want to help with homework. Why? Because they don't understand the things anyway. But you see, you can't limit. This is such a huge thing. You can't limit it to, oh, let's put a local language. I understand that we want to embrace our culture and probably fuse it with education. I absolutely understand that. And of course, if we are speaking, the fact that now we don't have enough skilled teachers, or even the skilled don't want to teach because of the little money that they are paid, okay? That's understandable. But maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to make sense of this, and maybe in the villages you can recruit teachers, people who have dropped out of school, S4 dropouts, and then they start teaching in the early development centers, the nursery school. They now call them early development centers, okay? If those are the ones you want to recruit to teach in the nursery schools, because they do not also understand a lot of English, they don't understand and also speak, so they would maybe be able to teach better in the local languages. If that's what we are trying to accommodate, that makes sense. Because you're also creating employment for them, they're part of the village, so they won't say, oh, I've been deployed in Karamoja, yet I stay in Kampala, so I won't go. No, the teacher is in the community, so he teaches or she teaches the kids in the community. That's what you're trying to work on, understandable. But I think you cannot subject this child to 3 years of the local language, and then the next year, first term, they're in
English.
They're in English.
But they have the English language as a subject. We have a caller. Let's take this caller.
SST is not in Ruchiga.
Good morning.
Good morning, NTV. I'm called Gloria.
Yes, Gloria. Let us know your question or comment. Your comment.
For me, I believe mother tongue in schools is not a good innovative, because take an instance of Kampala here. We have many people of different languages. So which mother tongue exactly are you going to teach to these people? Assuming we have someone from Gulu, someone from Kasese, someone from Soroti, which language are you going to teach to these children in the lower classes?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would say maybe Swahili. You know, don't you find it amazing how you can go to a country like Tanzania, which is really huge, from the north to the south? It's a huge country, but they all speak Swahili.
But that's because that's their...
And they have their tribes in Tanzania.
But you see, Mabel, it's like, for example, in China, there's Cantonese, there's Mandarin, okay? Yes. And of course, they share a few elements, but you know that Cantonese is what they speak in this particular area. But you see, in a place like Tanzania, it has been traditionally Swahili.
Yes.
A place like Kenya, they speak a lot of Swahili. For us here, we are more, for lack of a better word, blessed than these two countries. Everyone speaks their own. Even here at our workplaces, where there are 5 people in a room, and you speak a single word of, in Luganda, someone gets offended. Now, I can imagine, okay, you all teach us in our languages, and then you go to be examined by, say, the division, which sticks to English. And so for me, that's where the limiting factor is. That if you're examining me at another level, then the other level is not going to examine me in Alur or Acholi. No, they're going to examine me in English.
Good morning. Do let us know your name and your comment.
Nampera alina baby. Maybe we could. Kati, let's do this. Let's lose Nampera. Kati Mebo, speak in Ruchiga and tell people to call us. Mbwenu and they and they.
I must admit, mother tongue is. I'm not.
When do you speak? Do you speak Ruchiga? I've had your husband speak. He's so awesome.
My husband obviously
makes it sound
speaks,
like
yes.
American English.
But for me, not that this is an excuse, but my parents, and this is something that happens, your parents may be of different tribes or different nationalities, and somehow they choose to speak English. But my father was more of the school of thought that...
But your father is this?
Yes, as a lecturer, he wanted us to think in English. So he insisted on speaking a lot of English, and I grew up in Kampala, which did not help matters much.
And first of all, it's not called Kampala, it's Kampala. That's number one. I resent everyone who bastardizes it. Let's be like Pastor Peter Sematimba. Okay? It's Kampala. Like you hear voiceovers. Everybody in Kampala, in Mukono. No. Umeme, you tell people to announce that power outages will be in the following places. Bakuli. No, it's Bakuli. When they gay, no. It's offensive. Get us people who know how to pronounce these words. I'm applying for the job now.
Maybe that's why we need mother tongue, because I must say, in a way, I did feel disadvantaged, and especially when I was getting married, because there are some concepts I could not understand because they were not in English. I think I think fast in English, then I will think in another language.
Is there a
which
time
is
when you've ever had to use Ruchiga that if you don't speak Ruchiga now, your life is going to fall?
Not really, but let's take this call
Okay.
first. Good morning. Do let us know your comments.
If you're from Kampala, you can call us.
Good morning. You're live on NTV. Do let us know your question or comment.
Yeah, this is Julius from Fatpato.
Yes, Julius.
Yeah, me, I think it's very good for people to know their mother language as a foundation, not like something. It's not for passing, for passing exams.
It's good for passing exams.
Charlie from Fort Porto. Remember, speaking Ruchiga.
Another caller. We have another caller. We have another caller. Yes, good morning. Hello?
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 Yes, hello?
Please proceed with your comments, sir.
Yes. Called Judge from Arua.
From Arua?
Yes.
Pose, how do you greet in Arua?
Ningoni.
Ningoni.
Yes.
Okay. And what do I reply?
Mamuke.
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 Hey, Ngoni Mamuke. Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Yes, what do you think about applying the mother tongue in education?
No, mother tongue any best is actually the best.
Mm.
It is the best. It is the best mode the government has ever thought about. You in the studios, how do you think? How do you think? You think in English or you think in local language?
Okay, we don't.
How do you think? You're asking us.
Yes, I'm asking people.
I think in English. I don't know about you.
I think faster in English, but
You think in
there are
English
times
or you think
because
your mother tongue?
Sorry. Okay, I seem to have lost that. Okay, let's lose him. Okay, probably it's a connection. Let's lose him. This is the thing. For example, when I was studying German.
Aha.
Yes, I studied German for like 15 years. I speak German. But if someone speaks to me in German, I first think in English. Exactly. And that's because I've been exposed to the English language for a very long time. I think in English and I translate that and then speak back to you in German. In the same vein, if say you speak to me okay, I'll try. I don't think I think in Luganda. I don't think. I don't think that.
So you don't think, but what was your first language growing up? Luganda. You don't think it helped your mental ability? Because proponents of mother tongue do say your mental ability increases faster and expands faster if you're taught in your mother tongue in those formative years.
Well, I don't know. I don't think. All my, my nursery was in English, period. I only speak Luganda at home, okay? And so, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, this discussion will definitely continue on Facebook and Twitter. Morning at NTV is our Facebook page, is our Twitter handle.
You tell them in Ruchiga.
Now, is Twitter then? I have to consult
Twitter. But if you don't want to be...
And it's harder to learn when you're older, like I said. It's unfortunate. I'm on the other side. I don't really speak it that well. If you ask my mother will say, I tried, but my children failed. My father will say, it's okay. We don't need these local languages anymore. So when you have different nationalities or different tribes as parents, it is a challenge too. But I must admit, to the Indians, and I know Manmeet is just telling me.
Manmeet speaks in...
Most Indians I know, they are true, whether they have been born in London or US or here in Uganda, they speak Hindi, they speak, I don't know, Jugurat, they speak their local language. So it's a challenge to them.
And I want to say this, I want to challenge, whether we have the conversation on teaching, it's important that you learn your local language. You need to do that because now you're married, you may get relatives, they visit for a whole week, and Chana, you can't even ask them, can I give you some water? You have to send your husband always. But also, it kind of places you, helps you fit in society. So learn it. But as far as applying it in school, I think that we are asking for too much.
Okay, omusada chakuba nange chenkoba.
I am not
and with that,
don't misunderstand.
And with that, we shall end Mother Tongue. Darren and Derek are here to talk sport.
Darren and Derek, do you speak Luganda?
They are both Baganda. Cheyune and...
What's your other name? Derek Nsage.
Start time. Owagabiwo mu digital TV. For more information, call 117-117-700. Start time. Affordable digital television.
You're watching Morning at NTV with Simon Kasiate, Mabel Kebirunji, and Brian Mulondo.
Wanna make some cash? Just dial *185#.
My name is Catherine Nansubugatigalia. I'm a teacher. I come from Kakumiro, Chivale district. Today I've been in the draw for Yola Maja promotion with Airtel. And guess what? I've won 1,056,000. So people out there, please, I encourage you to use Airtel money because it's for real.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Taste the feeling.
Let go of me! Let go of me! Give me that notebook! That notebook is mine! And it is private! Drop it!
Nothing is private here. This isn't your house.
We've got Premier League action, Europa League action, Champions League action, and the Uganda Cup to talk about. Who better to talk about all this and much more than Alan Darren. Morning, Darren.
Morning, Derek.
Darren, let me first speak your mind on the mother tongue issue. First and foremost, how many people out there know you're called Cheyune? Yes, you do host the lunchtime show in Uganda, but you rarely speak the language outside office, or let me say in office.
It's got to do with the audience. You know, I have another newsroom that I get into where I know it's easier to speak a mother tongue than probably it is here. But also, the other asking me about my third name. It depends on the people you meet. There are those who know you by Darren, there are those who call you by the name Alan, there are those who call you by the name Cheyenne. And you find the last name, that is my surname, is one that will probably die out, and then the other names will overlap it. But I didn't think that would happen, that would turn out like that. Although, same thing for you, because I know you have a third name.
Okay. I'll catch you there. So we talk Abel Daira right now. Yes, he may be buried, I think 1 week back, but they're doing something in memory of him this coming weekend.
a cancer screening session to drive cancer awareness after the life of Abel Dera was taken on Easter Sunday, when he passed away at the age of 28 in Iceland. And from that time, probably it was a wake-up call, an eye-opener to so many footballers, as well as the retired footballers themselves, to probably go and have that cancer screening and testing. And this weekend should be on Saturday at Nachivugo. Close to 1,000 players will be gathering together to first of all remember Abel Dera himself, as well as taking cancer screens, cancer screening taking place there to test for almost all types of cancer, as well as the awareness, because most of these guys are sportsmen, but if cancer can get a sportsman, then what about those who don't actually play? So it's just to act as an eye-opener after Abel Dera was buried last week on Wednesday amid grief, inevitably, but it was just too much because he died at the age of 28. Probably they don't want to lose another life, led by, that should be the CEO of the Uganda Professional Footballers Association. That should be Paul Mutakabala, who is leading that notion, including information that will be sent out to so many of the FUFA, of the Azam Uganda Premier League players, to the FUFA big league clubs, as well as the University Football League teams. So many other footballers will be called to be in Nachivugo for that session.
So is it only footballers or sportsmen in general, current or even ex-internationals or ex-players?
As well as ex-players and ex-internationals, because at least I know the bond between ex-internationals and actually the current players is still there. It's easier to find so many ex-internationals on a Saturday in Nachivugo training. It's where you find Kefa Chisala still doing what he tried to do with Express, George Semogered on one end, and so many other players who have all come and retired for the Cranes, back from the 80s to the 90s to the early 2000s, all who have retired from the different clubs right there at Nachivugo. So for Saturday, it was planned to actually get the ex-internationals there because, one, there is no league action. Two, the ex-internationals, even those who work now, probably you have a business you're running, it's easier for you to go there on a Saturday. And it's usually Saturday mornings that gather all these ex-internationals. So if you add the current football players, well, probably you expect close to over 500 footballers to join the session, as well as the general public. Whoever will try to make their way there, of course, they can't stop you. This is a notion, this is for everyone's life.
Now, the Uganda Cup, Villa are the holders, AC Villa, and that's how they go to play on the continent, the preliminary stages. The draw was made yesterday for the last 8. Are there any one or two teams you're surprised to see there? Because it's not just the Premier League sides that are there, but there are one or two other sides from the big league. Quite many teams that may be unfamiliar to many of the viewers, but you'll see that there are some games that are not yet complete. There should be about 3, where there is that between Sports Club Villa and Ondu Paranka, the team that is from West Nile, that is doing so well in the big league that they're on the verge of qualification to get to the Azam Uganda Premier League next season. From one end, and also on the other side, I think it should be Proline, who are on the verge of making it back to the league, to the top flight stage. So Ondu Paranka on one side. Now the winner between those two faces the winner. Between those two faces the side that is Busia. Now, whoever wins between Busia and the victor from the other 2 games will face Sowan. Now that means Villa is still at the round of 32. It is their game that was left, I think, because they still had continental action and engagements. It's why you actually see Villa has only played 18 games in the league. They've only played about 3 games in the second round. Say they have a pile of fixtures, and I think they begin to reduce on that load tomorrow against Victoria University at Nachivugo in the league. But if they beat Ondu Paranka, they face Busia. If they beat Busia, they face Sowan. That's the quarterfinal. Maybe that, and the same thing for Vipers, because if you remember, at the time they did travel to play the CAF Champions League against Enyimba. They couldn't play that game against Kitara Airtel, and Kitara Airtel is here because Express failed to honor their fixture. They failed to travel away, to go away and play that game in Kitara. That's in Western Uganda. But now that means Vipers faces Kitara
Should they beat Kitara, they face Hope Doves, one of the teams that acts like a feeder side to the Saints. That's in the Azam.
That's where Nelson came from. Or
yeah.
That's where Nelson, he's on loan from Hope FC to KCC. Now, you did talk about Odu Paranka coming from the West Nile, and I would like to compare them to Gulu Elephants of in the rugby league. Now, should they come up to the Premier League, as you've said, they are a step closer to making it. Do you see them facing similar challenges of traveling to Kampala and the areas around to honor those Premier League fixtures?
The challenges are always there, but I think from the time the league got to its deathbed, I think when there were two parallel leagues, these things, I think, they are trying to fade away. If you remember the times of Boroboro Tigers, these things are tried to fade away, and if you remember, there were docked points at some stage, I think, for not honoring a fixture, things like that. We've heard of stories where a team like Proline would travel and go to up country to play Boroboro, and then on return from Lira, the players would arrive in Kampala at about midnight, things like that. So you've got to expect such things. But of course, it's good to go down with planning. If Odu Paranka does qualify, at least we've seen they're actually involved in business, selling players here and there, including that Villarom Chan player who did join URA at the start of the season. If they do qualify and make it to the top flight stage, you've got to expect all those challenges. It's not only Odu Paranka that will face them, crossing West Nile and coming to Kampala to play Villa. It will be the same story for Villa to make it to West Nile to play the team. So it's two-way traffic. But if the problem is coming from one end and one is probably not seeing it, then one is probably not honoring the barricade that is there, then probably there will be docking of points, because I think at least I know one team that was relegated back, I think, to the lower division for not honoring 3 league fixtures this season. So it's something that will be on cards should Odu Paranka do that. But what they should first do is qualify and make it to the top flight stage.
Athletics, IWA World Cross Country, the team arrives here next week for inspection. I mean, what's there to inspect?
It's to inspect the course where Uganda, after winning the rights to host the World Cross Country Championships about a year ago, the work now begins. The final works begin because Uganda becomes the second African country to host this event in a space of about a decade. After Mombasa did host this same event, the World Cross Country, where you need a flat course and then you're having athletes run around and do 10 kilometers in the senior men and women, as well as 6 kilometers in the junior women and 8 kilometers in the junior men. So from that, to look at the course, the way they are preparing, that's Uganda the host, and the onus of course falls back to the Uganda Athletics Federation. So the inspectors from the IAAF will be coming here to try and inspect all those things. How much have you done to do with the course? How much have you done to do with the security? Is it guaranteed? Because during the World Cross Country, like that event there on TV, that was the previous edition held in Guiyang in China last year, you find you're having about 256 athletes coming from about 30 different countries. Now, is security guaranteed? Because you're going to look at security, accommodation, the technical expertise itself on the beat. Is it what kind of course is it? Because that one was quite steep in Guiyang. I think that is a horse riding park that they did use. And if you remember, when Uganda hosted the World University Cross Country in 2014, where Joshua Cheptegei and Winnie Nanyondo managed to win global titles. They used the Entebbe golf course, if you remember, in 2014. Now, choice of the course I've had, it could be Entebbe, it could be Kololo, because Kololo, at the start of 2014, Kololo was used for the Africa Cross Country Championships. If you remember, that's where the story did come from as they were preparing for that tournament. And that's where the name of Coach Peter Wemali popped up, where he was accused of sexually harassing female runners in camp while they're preparing for that event. So the IF officials will be here to check out on all those things, and they'll give a report, and then they'll probably say you need to iron out here and here and here, because the World Cross Country does come up next year in March, here in Kampala. So probably you'll have almost the entire world of athletics gather here, and you know that is a season opener. First the cross country, after the cross country they get to track and field.
And I think this just shows you how much sport can expose a country to the world, although we do not value it here. But we're going to have the whole world. How many millions, how many eyes are we going to have on Uganda come March next year?
Of course, relatively, it's not the biggest of events.
I know.
Because the biggest event in 2017 will be the World Athletics Championships. And at the start of the year, all eyes will be on Uganda, especially for the long distance runners. Every country that has a long distance runner, not in marathon, but in these longer distance, probably 5,000 to 10,000 meters, they are going to throw all the athletes here to come to Uganda. Now that puts Uganda in the spotlight. Of course, the travels, the expenses, there will be some roads closed to have probably to divert traffic and then let an event take place. All those things will come into play because this is a world event. And also, whenever a country hosts a global event, especially in sport, they're put in the spotlight. It's quite automatic. For example, in South Africa, when they hosted the World Cup in 2010, lots of things changed. Probably if Uganda was to host a bigger tournament here, the dollar rate would go down like it went down in South Africa because they made lots of money to do with tourism, hotels, and every tourist was leaving their dollars in South Africa. So eventually the dollar rate went down against the rand. Those are things that can happen in Uganda. But of course, the tournament is not that big on the athletics calendar. It won't bring a Usain Bolt here because there could be a viewer saying Usain Bolt will be coming to Uganda. No, he won't come because this is for the longer version, 6 kilometers to 10 kilometers.
Okay, now basketball, I said bid farewell to a legend. In 30 seconds, could you talk about this man, Kobe Bryant?
Wow, quite an illustrious season, illustrious career he's had. Since 1996, 20 years playing for the LA Lakers, 5 league titles, 18-time All-Star, NBA All-Star. Wow, 2-time Olympic champion, quite immense. And earlier this morning, he did bow out in quite some, in some fashionable style, I should say, because he managed to rack up 60 points in his final NBA game as they beat the Utah Jazz early this morning, 101-96, including those 23 points that came in the final quarter to help his side, that is the LA Lakers, who have done poorly this season in the Western Conference, to go on and win the final game of the season because they can't make it to the playoffs, because at this stage we're getting to the playoffs because all the games did wrap up today, early this morning, which is Wednesday night in the USA, and the 60 points that he did rack up early this morning, I thought he just bowed out, and you look out for any other player who has signed out in that manner, and it will be quite difficult if you look into every sport, whether cricket or where a player who has signed out to retire at the age of 37. Kobe, he still had 60 points in him, although that couldn't take the LA Lakers anywhere. But to show you that it was a big story, the ticket prices went up when it was when at the Staples Center, when they said this was going to be his final game in the NBA. As well as the other thing that the whole of this season, the story has been Golden State Warriors, the defending champions, because they were chasing that record for Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls had won 72 games at home, unbeaten in the 1995-96 season. Now, early this morning, the Golden State Warriors broke that record because they won their 73rd game at the Oracle Arena, beating the Memphis Grizzlies. Steph Curry becoming the first player to cross the 400 three-pointer mark in a season, because he broke that record into the third quarter, racking up 46 points on the evening as they won 125-104. Quite a story there. But now Curry goes below. If it is a page, you'll open it's Kobe first, and then the next page will have the Golden State Warriors.
Now in a minute and a half, that's what we have left on the clock. Wrap it up with FA Cup action, last night's Champions League, and Liverpool's game today with Dortmund, the bigger one in the Europa League.
Manchester United are through to the semi-finals. losing 2-0 yesterday, where I thought Barcelona offered, they didn't offer anything with regards their style of play. They were outplayed by Atletico Madrid. Antonio Griezmann getting the brace, one in the first half, a penalty. In the second half, after Andres Iniesta had held the ball, I thought he should have been sent off. And Barcelona, in the dying minute, should have had a penalty when the captain, Gabi Fernandez, held the ball in the area on the side for Atletico Madrid. There, Atletico Madrid making it to the semi-finals. Just like they did in the 2014 season, they had to eliminate Barcelona. 1-0 on aggregate. Here they won 2-0, advancing 3-2. Now, interestingly, all the teams that are into the semi-finals, they won 3-2 on aggregate, all including the ones on Tuesday night. That is Real Madrid beat Wolfsburg 3-2 on aggregate, Man City beat PSG 3-2 on aggregate, Atletico advanced 3-2 on aggregate, and the other team that advanced 3-2 on aggregate was Bayern Munich, because they played out a 2-2 stalemate in Portugal as they eliminated Benfica last night. Quite plenty of action yesterday. It's quite sad that we had only 1.5 minutes to talk about all this. Probably tomorrow.
Brian and Mabel were talking about the mother tongue, and I'll give you the honor today to sign off in your mother tongue. Look into your camera.
Alaba NTV webali kulaba nnyo program ya morning at NTV. Bino bibadde bya mizanyo. Nze Darren Alan Cheine ne Derek Ntege omwanjuzi wa segment eno ya program eno. Ekitundu ekiddako tova ku NTV, ekitundu ekiddako ye Farida Nakazibwe ne program eyo eya Mwasuze Mutya. Tova ku NTV, weraba.
This is you. Your friends. Your family. Your fellow Ugandans. All are rising. Because when people get information that is incisive, in-depth, and analytical, people take action. People create change. NTV News. Moving Uganda.
You can now become an exclusive MTV reporter on the go. With the NTV Go mobile app, you can create news by capturing and sharing content instantly. Simply download the NTV Go app on Google Play Store. Go to the N Reporter feature and start reporting as the news happens. We will air your story on a special TV program. NTV Go also allows you to watch news, instant live updates, and follow your favorite show from the comfort of your home, taxi, or your favorite kafunda. Download NTV Go app now from Play Store.
Isa, yalagula Yesu ngali je mabega. Akali mu mufunzi.
Yesu ne Isa ani yasookawo munne.
Isa.
Buli lwotayogera na muntu kutegeera bimukwata kutosobola kumutegeera yenna. Tekisoboka.
Era edako yakatugamba nti Abaganda mbwanja alaje kasukire gumba gyegenda. Kala kagamba akukano.
Obote. Wateekwa okubaawo eddoboozi abantu lye bakozesa. Eddoboozi abantu lye bakozesa okutuusa okunnyonnyola kwabwe, okutegeerekeka, okutangaza bye bakwatako. Conqueror of the British Empire. Naye nga Wakamu bimuyita, Wakamu amuyitanga mutya?
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. Kuwuliriza, kufumiitiriza, kukola, kwogera. Bina. Tuwaye.
Bwe yamala okutuula ngenda okutunula mu kibatu kyange kino kye ntaddeko bwendi nga muvaamu ebiwuka ng'ensolosozi.
Ebimu byewuunyisa, binakuwaza, ebirala bikyusa obulamu.
Omuntu atasomye atya n'okuyingira ofiisi naye ng'omanyi nti nina omukyala n'abaana awaka nakinkola nina ne bizinesi naye ntya n'okuyingira ofiisi eno okwennyonnyolako.
Eddoboozi lye njogerako. Tuwaye.
You know what they say about girls? Who cries more? Girls. Who does the chores? Girls. Who's the shopaholic? Girls. Who's all about selfies? Girls. Who brings the drama? Girls. But we want to show you our real world, where we're more than just girls. Introducing Spark TV, the first female channel in Uganda, made for you to bring out the best in you. Spark TV, it's your time.
Ekifo ekimu kisawa musu n'ekyalo ekiweddeko abamanye bakiraza mumwa. Tugenda kutuuka gy'oli oyogere naffe ebikwata ku kyalo kyo, embeera mw'okolera, ebyobufuzi, ebyobulamu n'ensonga endala nnyingi. Ebyogerwa tebiyita. Tuusa eddoboozi lyo, yogera naffe buli lwakuna otereevu ku NTV akawungeezi.
This week on T Nation.
Random and funny right here. You tell your crew, I tell my crew, we party all night.
Catch a brand new episode of T Nation every Saturday at 11 a.m. only on NTV.
Mwasuze Mutia is brought to you by
Radiant, feel yourself.
and Finance Trust Bank, the bank that understands women's financial needs.
Okay, tuwaniriza nnyo ku program Mwasuze Mutya. Tubetondera jjo tetwabaddeyo, twabadde twetegekera emikolo egya Ssaabasajja Kabaka nga ajaguza amazaalibwa ge ag'omulundi ogw'enkaaga mu ogumu, era tumuyozaayoza ayi Ssaabasajja okutuuka ku buwanguzi obwo. Mbaaniriza nnyo program Mwasuze Mutya erwaliro ennaku z'omwezi 14 nina abazaaliddwa Mariam Nabulime Senyonjo, happy birthday my sister. Tubeera ne Rose Kasujja wali e Masaka, happy birthday Aunt Rose. Aida Bagaya nawe happy birthday. Sako nawe Martin Nsereko Busulwa, happy birthday mukwano gwange. Tubagala nnyo, mwebali nnyo kulaba NTV. Waliwo omukyala atwagala ennyo Hilda. Bangambe n'owota mutumira jana kaaba. Bamuyita Robina Namirembe awo MPG ku Nsamizi Technical Institute. Tagenda ku mulimu nga takula Mwasuze Mutya nalwe kagenda mu office bamumanyira bamugamba tuula bwatuuka. Bamugamba tuula. Robina webale nnyo kutwagala naffe tusiima nnyo byemukola. Yes, olwaliro tuzze era okwongera okusaba obuyambi. Manyi osobola tusobola okwatiza wamu ne tuyamba omuntu ali mu bwetaavu. Waliwo omukyala mbadde mulaba ku social media ne Joma Olire Kaffe twabadde naye bamuyita Carol Atohire, ayina kansa wa mirundi 2. Takyasobola kwogera, takyasobola kulya ng'akozesa omumwa nga ffe bwe tulya olw'obulumi bw'ayina. Ayina kansa mu mulago, ow'omumiro n'ow'amawuggwe. Yes, amawuggwe. Carol Atohire yeetaaga obuyambi, ayina wano takyalinawo bujjanjabi bwafuna, ne bamugamba nti wagenda mu America ne bamulongoosa asobola okuddamu okufuna eddoboozi lye n'ayogera n'okusobola okulya nga ffe abalala bwe tulya. Twetaaga buyambi. Kati tulabe Carol katono nnyo tukomewo mbawe ennamba kwe musobola okumuweerezaako ku buyambi ne siringi 10 zisobola okukola ekyenjawulo.
I was hungry, you fed me. Naked, you clothed me. They will know us about our love.
They're listening, and does anybody know my name? No, my friend, we were not there, but we're here and we care, and yes, we feel your pain. And yes, we feel your pain.
I can't imagine how you felt as you sat there, trying to hide the fear upon your face. And as the earth begins to cry, and you ask the preacher why, tonight we can hear the children say, hear them say,
is there anybody out there listening? And does the pain.
Oyo ye Karo atuhire n'obulumi bwalimu tulowooza nti kyasobola okumutuukirira tuleme naffe okumumalamu amaanyi asobole okweyongerayo n'obulamu. Muwala akyali muto nnyo alina ebingi ebyokukolera famire ye mwennyini ne ggwanga lino. Tusobola tutya okumuyamba nga tumuweereza akatono ke tulina asobole okuŋŋaanya ssente yeetaaga obukadde 207 okugenda mu America alongoosebwe. Osobola okuyita ku namba eno 07 84 16 87 0784 16 81 78. Aina ne account number, aina account mo Equity Bank naye katsoke tukose eyo number eya mobile money. However little it is, osobola okuweerezaako Karo ne tumukolerawo ekyenjawulo. Waliwo ne okuuza motoka okutegekeddwa wali ku Panamera ba ndoozi eri Naguru Okololo.
Is that Naguru?
I think it's Naguru, yeah. Egenda kubeerawo nga 23 lujja kuba lwa mukaaga olwa wiiki eryaddako after this one. Wiiki eryaddako 23 tukuŋŋaanire ffenna eyo ku Panamera tuwoze motoka as many as we can to save a life. Mwebale nnyo mujja kuba mutukaza bulungi nnyo. Program oli kumwasize mutya tuddamu okubaaniriza. Tugenda kweyongerayo n'ebyaffe ebya bulijjo tuli ne Bahati Hilda tukyagenda maaso n'okulaba engeri gye tusobola okutumbula obulamu bwaffe okwekyusaamu to make ourselves better. Waliwo embeera ze tuyitamu, yes. N'otuuka ekitundu olaba oli ku kisenge tebitambula tobitegeera gwe mwennyini naye obirimu obituddemu essuubi olina lingi nnyo nti ddala bijja kukyuka. Ffe tugamba waliwo ekiseera wootuuka nga bigaanye onyigiriza bigaanye n'omala obudde n'okibeera mu myaka 10 nga at the end of the day it is going to take you nowhere. When do you learn to say enough is enough and let go? Hilda Bahati.
Yes.
Nkulamusiza nnyo.
Nange nkulamusiza. Amakya malungi.
Amakya malungi akawewo kabadde kangi mbadde simanyi mbona mmalako naye kati ate mbugumi wala kuba oyingiddewo.
N'abatulaba tubalamusiza oba mbalamusiza mwebale nnyo kubanga mulaba. Nana waŋŋambye nti naawe olwaleero bwetantumira todda njagala nnyo bye mwogera nange ntumiraako.
Oyo Nana Malayika.
Nana Esther, no, Nana Esther.
Nana Malayika atulaba nnyo
ne Christine Kalijirwa webale nnyo kubanga olaba namwe mwenna abalaba n'abantuukirira n'abakuba amasimu okulaga nti oyina ky'oyagala okukyusa ku bulamu bwo. Ndowooza yengeri yokka gy'osobola okubeerawo mu bulamu bweyagaza. Tulina obulamu bumu, like it's a single life. Toyina second chance nti ogenda kuddamu obeerewo ate oddemu okola ebintu by'otaamaliriza. Ekitegeeza buli ky'olina okumaliriza, buli ky'olina okukola, buli ky'olina okwogera, buli ky'olina okwetuusaako olina kukikola mu bulamu buno bwe tulina. Kati ekitegeeza tolina budde. Lifespan nga bwe tugiraba egenda ekendeera. Ate bwe weezinga mu nnaku nti olw'okuba ekintu tekikoze, ekintu tekiyiseemu oba tekitaninze out to be nga bwe mbadde nkisuubira, bwe weekubagiza tekina gye kigenda kukutwala. Ekitegeeza nti mu buli mbeerako ebembi etya olina okubaako wootuuka n'ogamba nti ekimala kimala nina okuyimirira neneeyongerayo mu bulamu bwange. Ate
obudde tebulinda.
Obudde tebulinda.
Olunaku oluyiseewo luba lugenda.
Waliwo lw'otunula emabega n'ogamba myaka 5 nayina ebirooto, nayina ebintu bye nateekawo nti bye njagala okumaliriza. Naye myaka 5 bwe ntunula emabega ninga amaze obudde bwange. Oba buli lunaku mbadde nkola ki? Ninga buli kanaku obadde ozuukuka, obadde ogenda ku mulimu, obadde kwegamba okola ebintu naye osobola okuvaako mu routine n'okolako ku kintu ekyenjawulo. Ate ng'okola ebyo by'osobola okukola waliwo abamu ku ffe abeeteeka ku bintu bye tutasobola kukola. Say for example bakuchayi ogenda kikolera ki kuba ne bw'onookaaba ne bw'oneesalaasala obufu
ate kasita kulengera ng'okaaba gamba mu mazzi
yeeyongera gamba nti awo yomuwonye okitegeera naye olina okuvaawo wooli ne weekunkumula n'omanya nti omanyi kibaddewo kanneeyongereyo bweba bizinesi nga eweddewo waliwo ekibaddewo eira muliro accident oba obubbi okitegeera era ngamba nnyo abantu nti weebaze Katonda nti obulamu obulina kubanga ye ntandikwa y'obugagga era ye ntandikwa y'ebyo byonna by'ogenda okubeera nabyo kakati mu kifo ky'okwekubagiza n'ogamba nti owange kirabika ne bye nnaakola ebirala tebijja kuyitamu
naawe n'oyagala weesuule mu muliro
you don't move on okiraba n'osigala mu kifo kyekimu. Jukira olina omulembe oguddako bw'oba muntu oluusi ozadde ne bw'oba tonna bakuzaala osuubira okuzaala ekitegeeza nti si gwe wekka yeeteeka mu katyabaga bw'oba ng'osigadde mu kifo kimu n'oziŋŋama ne weezinga n'obeera ng'atalina magulu ng'atasobola kulaba nti ensi ekuleka then obaako omulembe gw'oaffectinga n'abaana bo abaddako n'abaana b'abaana bo kubanga tolina byogenda balekera tebalina kye basobola kulabirako ne bagamba great grandfather yakola kino alina kye yatulekera oba alina
abaana bo nga bawulira bagamba mama wamwe yetta kubanga kino kyali kimutuuseeko
okiraba eyo ye legacy gy'oyagala okuleka mu family yo kubanga ne bakiwulira n'omuzzukulu bw'akiwulira agamba wange kirabika engeri yokka omanyi kikwata ogamba engeri yokka ey'okumalawo ebizibu kwejja mu bulamu bw'ensi ogenda okulaba nga mu family bw'otunuulira emabega jjajja yakikola n'omwana waliwo omwana eyakikola waliwo omuzzukulu eyakikola okitegeera ekitegeeza nti bw'okola ekintu ekirungi nakyo kisobola okutaninga out well olina agamba nti jjajja amwe yatuuka mu mbeera ebintu nga si birungi naye teyayimirira ng'omusajja yayimirira ng'omukyala naggulawo amakubo amalala kati we mulaba tulina ettaka tusobola okukola kikugamba olina legacy gy'olekawo so ekintu ky'okola olwaleero tekikosa goweka kati njagala weebuuza oyagala abaana bo babiri batya ye oyagala enkyayo ebeera etya kubanga oyagala kukula nga ebintu byeyongera kuba bulungi okola ate economy yeyongera kaluba kati ndowooza olaba nti buli riding abagendako mu gym waliwo olwoteeka mu giya kugamba ne yeeyongera obuzito n'oba ng'okozesa amaanyi mangi kati bwe tuba nga tuli ne bwoba ng'owuga amazzi okubisa mukono gw'amaanyi so economy yaffe yeeyongera okukaluba kyogula olwaleero 5000 omwaka ogujja ojja kigula 200 ekitegeeza olina kweyongera kukola so that value yo ey'essente erinnya ate nga ne standards of living wezirinnya kati ndowooza olaba nti tewali seeyeeya you're not on a slope ekitegeeza olina kweyongera mu maanyi so wootudde ekintu kyonna bwe kiba nga kikubaddeko si yenkomerero y'obulamu bwo olwaleero kye twogera totuuse ku kisenge ate era ne bw'oba otuuse ku kisenge osobola okikolamu ekkubo oba osobola okibuuka oba osobola okyetoloola tekitegeeza nti awo woolina okukoma so olwaleero kye twogerako ekintu bwe kiba nga tekikuzimba ekyensookerako ekintu bwe kiba nga tekikuzimba
gwe mwennyini oyinza n'okubeerawo nga tomanyi kikikuzimba nakitakuzimba
anti kakati ebintu bino twayogerako ndowooza ku kwezuula last week ne twogera ku self worth ne value gy'olina value gye weeteekako nange gye nkuteekako bwe weezuula nti you deserve better nti weetaaga ekisingako era uggulawo amaaso go nekyolina notasetole oba notakakana n'ogamba wange kasita kyennina ate naakola ntya nedda bw'oba ng'olina ekyo kikolera kikole bw'oba ng'olina ky'osobola okukyusa kikyuse kubanga tewali agenda kukikolera kakati kyengambye nti olina okwezuula kyogambye nti abantu abamu tebamanyi kikye bali ekitegeeza olina osooka ne weezuula kikyoli then olyoka otekinga the next step ey'okumanya ki ekinzimba nakyo ekitanzimba obulamu bwaffe magnet tusika ebintu ebyenjawulo naye ate tulina obuyinza okulondawo kiki ekisigala mu bulamu bwaffe emikwano gyogenda hayi biki bayinza okubuuza bayinza okwagala bayinza okukolagana naawe nobeera n'amasimu nga mutwalo mu simu yo naye tekitegeeza nti bonna bagenda kubeera mikwano gyo bonna bagenda kukuzimba waliwo abantu abajja okuleetera emboozi nga ye buli wakukubira akasimu akunyumiza lugambo okimanyi nti gundi ali bwati okimanyi nti ali lubuto bw'aba ali lubuto kyenkwatirako wa ate tulaninge tuyige okuchanolinga information tekuzimba ng'ogireka beera n'akasengejja kakati ekitegeeza bw'oba nga ekintu tekikuzimba nga tekikwongerako value it's time to let go bw'aba mukwano gwo nga takwongerako value nga all he does kukuumira mu kifo kimu ate ennaku zino tewali kikukumira mu kifo kimu oba ogwa naye oba tomanyi kati ekitegeeza bw'abanga emboozi zaleeta bw'abanga buli kyayogera omugamba nti bizinesi enagamba gundi yagikola netekola gundi yagikola olaba negativity eyo bweyeeyo ate it's contagious kikwata kiringa kirwadde Farida bwendwa naawe naye ng'olina negative mind towards business ne bwendikola business etya ojja kumalamu amaanyi ne bwendifuna kaloosa akatono ejja ne kugamba nti halira ebintu tebyako nakugamba
ate nawe obeera mulingo ogamba kino nno nkikola naye baŋŋambye tekigenda kutambula so bwekigwera ogamba asa bandabula neŋŋaana mutandika kwebulaminga gwe ng'omuntu
waliwo abantu nga bafunye abantu ababaagala olina funa omuntu n'olowooza nti bagenda kusanyukirako naye mukwano gwo nagamba wa nze abasajja abalungi nabavaako olw'okuba yalina experiences eyayita abasajja abalungi abasajja abalungi biddole biri awo byakutimbako obutimbi naye mukwano n'obufumbo tebakola mbubajooga kubanga waliwo abawala abalala babeetanira naye ate ng'ono gw'oyogerako osanga wanjawulo abantu bonna si be bamu kati muno n'omusubya okuba ng'ayingira mu mukwano
n'oluvubuka olugogo
olw'okuba nti gw'olina past experiences zo kati omuntu gw'olaba nti akudraginga behind nze njagala nnyo omuntu andabula naye nga mbuulira lwaki andabula okitegeera bw'oŋŋamba nti abavubuka abalungi naye ngamba naye owange kiwe chance you never know things can turn out the other naye bw'olaba red flags bw'olaba ebikulabula teweebulizaayo oba okitegeera ate era omukwano gw'omutuufu abeera by your side bw'omunyumizako nagamba nti naye kino tekijja kukyuka omuntu ono kirabika tumuweemu break mu kifo ky'okugamba togeza nakugeza akukubidde akasimu tokwata ne message toddamu
ajja kubuzaabuza gwe tomuwabudde
n'osuba oyo n'osuba omulala oluusi olw'okuba ye singo tayagala omulekewo ofune omuntu olaba nti abantu balina ebigendererwa byabwe so omuntu bw'aba nga takwongerako takuzimba ye kyekiseera oyinza obuta mwekutulako n'ogamba saagala kukola kino naye manya nti alina akabanga bw'alina okusigala you have to let go of that relationship asigale waali nawe weeyongerayo gye weeyongerayo
mwerabe bulabi mwebuuzaako well and good naye ebintu ebiri important
waliwo omuntu gwe nagambako ntukozesa nnyo example eno waliwo gwe nagambako bwe nali ntandika life coaching ne counselling kubanga originally nakola IT kati olwamala ninizuula nengamba nina okuddayo ku ssomero ate waliwo nagamba nakaenrollinga nga nsoma n'abaana freshers nga bava from senior 6 naye nze jjukira mbaddeko wabweru mbadde nkola mbadde nina ebirala byenkola so nenzirayo naye waliwo abantu bogamba nti naye this is my dream ngenda kukola I'm going to start a company I'm going to do what ebyo nno birooto omanya okubanga omuntu waliwo particularly one person nga mukulu yalina mukulu nga mwebuuzaako ekyo tekisoboka gwe mu Uganda wakirabawa ani gwolabirako who is your example in Uganda ngenda okutunula around like nga okay I didn't have vivid people bendaba nengamba but it's possible tewali kitasoboka
omugamba nze ngenda okubeera example y'abalala
yakola kinene nnyo like okusobola okummalamu amaanyi mpaka wenatuuka wentuuka nengamba nkubuulire sijja kuddamu kubuulira kintu kyange kyonna nemmulekaawo era bwe natandikiriza nga maze okuleka business eri gye nali nkola n'ebintu bye nali nkola mbitadde obitadde kati nno gwogwiridde ddala ekyo kyogendamu tekigenda kukola naye ngamba kakati I'm going to work hard to disapprove this person okumulaga nti nsobola okubeerawo naye gye nakoma okukola ennyo nenjiga nti waliwo abantu who don't belong in our lives at certain points ng'olina to let go ng'osobola okweyongerayo later on lwe bajja okukitegeera nti actually wali serious ku kye wali oyogerako ne ku kye wali okola
kati mwaddamu ne muwuliziganya
of course twaddamu ne tuwuliziganya naye twaddamu ne tuwuliziganya
nga ze kwebuuzaako anoonya counseling
nedda yali ankubira essimu nga actually he was on NTV ng'alaba
obwedda musajja ebyo bitera kukolebwa
nno yali mwami naye kireka yali mutiitiizi nnyo
oba yali akwagala nga manyi bajja kukwanirayo
nga si a risk taker so after some time ankubira ngamba nti I've watched your interview where I'm seeing your work on social media like things are really working out nangamba and I'm just starting mpulira sina kye naakoze I have bigger dreams
not rubbing her in
not rubbing but that's the truth I'm just starting I have bigger things to do so waliwo abantu nga balina okukoma kati gwe weetunuulire mu bulamu bwo flash a torch in your life baani aba bakusika oba olinya ng'akusika akuzza wansi it's time to let go
nya ku mirimu abantu abo babaayo
nnyo
so kati ku mirimu how do you let go in this case
anti kakati
wano ine ekigendererwa kyo I'm looking for experience njagala sente kwebeezaawo naye nga waliwo this particular person nga waliwo okubanga person ne wabaawo n'okuba nti company yennyini gy'okoleramu yeekola ki
yeekusika anti kakati ekintu ekitakugattako value a job that does not challenge you oba etafittinga mu principles zo ne core values kubanga ffenna tulina passions zetulina era abamu ku ffe tetuteredde we tuli lwakuba kye tukola tetukyagala buli woozuula nti kyokola tokyagala tokyenyumiririzaamu manya nti yo misplaced era ne productivity yo egenda kukendeera ekitegeeza weetaaga maximum supervision okusobola okuba ng'okola emirimu gy'okola. Naye omuntu ayagala ekintu kyakola yeetaaga minimum supervision. Asobola okwetuma, asobola okugamba kankole kino, kansurprisingeyo boss, mulage kontine kino kisobola okukola. Okiraba nti omuntu oyo aba ayagala kyakola. So bweweezuula nti oweddemu amaanyi olw'ekyo kyokola, routine, kifuuse routine, tekina kyekikwongerako, tekina experience, obulamu kuyiga. Life is learning.
Kubanga, yes, passion yakyo sigiina nnyo, but nsobola obbikola, naye nga kyensinga okwagala gwe omusaala at the end of the month.
Anti kakati era togenda kukikola as well as a person who is interested in doing it. Naye ng'osobola okukikola, kyekyo kye nagamba nti osobola okuprojectinga n'ogamba nti kino kyenkola, I'm doing it for survival. Nchikola niweewa obudde n'omanya nti mu bbanga lya myaka nga5 oba myaka nga 8 oba myaka nga 3 ngenda kubanga nvudde mu being employed oba si kyekyo ngenda kubanga nvudde mu sector eno nga nyingidde sector endala gye mpulira gye njagala.
Naye jjukira twagambye nti obudde tebulinda.
Anti obudde tebulinda, naye jjukira nti ebintu calculations ze tukola oba prospects oba ebyo mu maaso bye tupanga tubipangira ku nsimbi. Ekitegeeza olina okuba n'ensimbi. Kati waliwo okuba nti ensimbi z'osobola okufuna essaawa ezo olina zifunira mu department eno. Omutima gwo gye gutaliiko nnyo naye ate ng'osobola okikola. Naye ate bw'oba ng'osazeewo okukola ekintu, do it with all your heart. Tokikola nti olw'okuba I'm seeking for survival. Because we will see it. Nze ndabye abaana abakola for the sake of working. Era ku mulimu ntera obagamba ndaba omuntu nga waliwo ajja wano obuzi okukola obukozi kwegamba ye n'agenda tafaayo oba bangambye eki oba bampadde information oba bakoze kikwegamba ye akola amala gakola era omuntu oyo omulaba era be bantu nti ku list esalibwako babaako nnyo. Ogenda okulaba ngono bamutemayo ku mulimu guli kugamba ye atwala attitude eyo I don't belong here kanjira nkolakolako ndaba nina sente. Waliwo eyakingambako bali bagenda kumuwa deal n'alyoka gamba ye sente bumeka bwenfuna wano ye kiki so we kyatuuka mu matu ga boss n'agamba obusente kale katubulekera awo tujja funa services okuva eri omulala olwamala nakuba esimu nagamba sente ezo oba mbizibadde zennyamba ku renti oba okiraba don't minimize toyisaamu bantu maaso bw'oba osazeewo okukola ekintu don't do something oba togenda wantu kusaba mulimu ng'omanyi tojja gukola gukole n'obulamu bwo bwonna
kubanga sigwe gwabadde olootako
kyekikupushinga recommendation matters. Bw'okola wano ekintu ekirungi Farida oli nakurecommendinga for a greater job oba okitegeera nagamba nti Farida abadde akola emirimu gye bulungi naye ate ne byabadde atukolera bitono ku byasobola ekitegeeza obusobozi bwe bungi kampani eddako okuwa omulimu oba gy'oddako okukolera ogenda ng'oli mu safe hands bamanyi batutte omuntu akola naye era omuntu ate ba bosses balina okuyiga okubeera point blank oli tamala gakola majaani n'amuterako recommendation nti very good n'amurecommendinga olw'okuba aswala nidda muterewo nti he is an average worker n'oli amutwala amanye nti atutte average worker amanye headache gy'agenda okufuna ate
wafuna chance olina amukkiriza mu bwa average bwe improving so that I'm recommending
yes so bw'okkiriza ekintu okukikola kikolere ddala amaanyi go bw'ogamba nti neewadde emyezi 3 egyo make sure that you've done it nga omuntu agenda okukira bagenda agamba nti wow singa obadde okyaliwo ng'omuntu asobola okuyayanira tokola kintu ng'omuntu agamba nti oba avaawo ddi oba gigwa oba contract eggwako ddi you don't want that.
Mbadde nkubuuza wali ku mulimu olina omulimu organizational company naye nga mulimu this particular person akulemesa ne waba alabye potential yo agezako okulaba nti akusawa takuwa time takuwa platform ku expressinga oba kugenda waggulu
kakati ekintu kino mugundi mu organizations ezenjawulo mulimu structures ne policies oyinza okuba ne immediate boss wo naye nga immediate boss wo ye muntu akuyimiridde mu kkubo naye ate jjukira nti waliwo ba bosses above bwabanga ddala company eyina structures ennungi in that oyina either human resource oba oyina ate waliwo omuntu gw'otunulira mu company n'omanya nti ono nsobola omutuukirira n'enjogera naye ne mugamba nti omanyi obusobozi bwange buli bwe buti ne bwe buti kye mwanterawo okukola kiri bwe kiti ne bwe kiti but I feel sikola kye nteekeddwa kola lwakuba nina ekinnemesa ate nga tetugamba nti okay whistleblowing that is a much bigger thing naye ate osobola okwogera ne human resource osobola okwogera n'omuntu ali immediately above him asobola okuba nga taking a course of action naye ate era ekintu bwe kiba nga tekikunyigiriza nnyo waliwo ebintu ebimu bye tutalina kwogerako kubanga nabyo era bigenda kuleetera a lot of beef waliwo abantu abata overcominga busungu obwo oba na bujja oba tebabiwangula so bwe kibanga ekintu olaba nti ne bwe sikyogerako nsobola okusigala mu sekta yange nga nkola ebinkwatako ebitankwatako ngenda bireka okitegeera okujja bwe kiba kisusse yogera naye bwe kibanga tekisusse ng'owulira yolina room osobola okukola emirimu gyo ate n'ogenda mu maaso day to day genda maaso kyesonyiwe ogende mu maaso kubanga si buli kye twogerako nti kigenda kukolebwako nga kireesa ebizibu ebisingako naye ate bw'oba owulira nga pressure ekuliko nnyo tosobola kussa toyina bwogerero toyina kyosobola kukola ekitegeeza tewakwongerako value ekitegeeza ogenda kwekyawa ekyo kyogere ne bwe kibanga kibackfirinze ojja kufuna relief mu mutima ogambe nti owange kasita tekikoze kanoonya atawalala wekigenda okukolera yes
that is good tugenda kummulamu naye bwe tukomawo tugendeko mu the other side ya relationships when do you let go nga olaba ebintu biganye tumanye okubyesibamu nesuuba epitirivu nti bijja kukola tovaawo tuli ne Bahati Hilda ne ku Spark TV kwe tuli nnyo tukomawo
is to have a healthy baby at birth and breastfeeding, yet no baby deserves to get HIV. And here is how to reduce the risk. As soon as you know you're pregnant, go and get tested for HIV with your partner. If your test is negative, find out from the health worker about how to stay HIV negative. If you test HIV positive, the health worker will recommend the best treatment for you. Make sure you follow the treatment to reduce the risk of passing the virus to your baby. Go to the health center for antenatal care and make sure you attend all your antenatal care visits. Plan to deliver at the health center. Trained health workers know what to do to reduce your baby's exposure to HIV. After your baby is born, make sure you return to the health center with your baby for regular checkup and monitoring. And while there, remember to ask the health worker about family planning or child spacing to prevent unplanned pregnancies. Take charge of the baby's life and yours. Stand out and have an HIV-free baby.
Taste the feeling.
You can now become an exclusive MTV reporter on the go. With the NTV Go mobile app, you can create news by capturing and sharing content instantly. Simply download the NTV Go app on Google Play Store. Go to the N Reporter feature and start reporting as the news happens. We will air your story on a special TV program. NTV Go also allows you to watch news, instant live updates, and follow your favorite show from the comfort of your home, taxi, or your favorite kafunda. Download NTV Go app now from Play Store.
Just buy a Pepsi, SMS the unique 4-digit code to 8888 and stand a chance to win.
My name is Eli. I'm one of the lucky winners.
who are going to watch finals for Champions League in Milan, Italy. So I'm very excited for winning this ticket, fully paid expenses.
Just buy a Pepsi, SMS the unique 4-digit code to 8888 and stand a chance to win.
Let go of me! Let go of me! Give me that notebook! That notebook is mine! And it is private! Drop it!
Nothing is private here. This isn't your house.
Mwebale nnyo okwekumira ku NTV ne ku Spark TV program mwase mutya aba Radiant ne Trust Bank Finance Trust Bank, yes, bebatuteekamu sente. Hilda, tubeera mu mukwano fena tuguyingira mu kufuna ssanyu, kufuna muntu atuwongera tubudabuda tucamula atuzaamu amaanyi mu buli kimu ne waba wootuuka relationship nga naawe ogiraba egaanye mwevuma muyomba buli kaseera akola kino n'okwekuba ne mwekuba naye ng'ogamba ono ye wange Katonda gwe yantegekera.
Kakati no waliwo okwevuma n'okwekuba naye ate waliwo ebintu ebimu ebigenda extreme. By the way, musobola okulwana naye ne musigala nga mukyeyagala naye ng'okimanyi nti munna akwagala naye ye ngo obunafu bw'alina bwa either okukuba but okukuba yenyo kiri extreme kubanga it can hurt you naye n'okuvuma it can make you feel inferior naye waliwo ebintu bibiri nga tutandika segment eno byenjagala okukattiriza. Waliwo ebintu ebimu nga you're stuck with them forever, your family abaluganda bita nemenyekera muddawo ne mukola ki, so tosobola gamba nti nze namwesonyiwa namuleka namukola ki muganda wo omusayi ogukulimu gwe gumulimu. Family yo, you're stuck with it forever because you don't choose it. The next thing that you choose ky'obeera stuck nakyo bwe bufumbo. Bw'ofumbirwa omuntu ate nga nakyo on the extreme osobola okukivaamu naye ate nga obufumbo osalawo yensonga lwaki bw'obanga tonnaba kugamba I do ne bw'obanga oli mu maaso wali nga bamubikuddeko ka veil ne bakubuuza nti do you take this woman as your wife, bw'obanga tokiwulira nti I do gamba no otambule. It's better olabikire ku mawulire oba ku TV oba ku mpapula z'amawulire oba kinti omugole yaleseewo omugole munne naye ate nga toyingidde mu kaduukulu kogenda kwejjusa lwaki wakayingidde. So get it from me, bw'obanga you don't feel like saying I do, say no and walk away.
Lwaki olina otuuka katuuti
waliwo abantu abekkiriranya nava eno nga yekkiriranya
on her way from church to I mean from the salon to the church nakuba obufaananyi
naye kakati naye ebintu bino naabisobola. Omuntu ono nga simwagala, omuntu ono nga simufaako.
waliwo banyumiza wedding meetings nazo zaatandika ne batandika okusonda ssente lumu baba balina byebogerako sente zitandise okujja zitandise obakyankalanya n'amukuba oluyi naye nga baali bamulabula dda famire yo nkumi n'agamba owange tankubangako biki kwolwo sente ze zaabatabula amugamba leeta ziwakuŋŋaanyizza yamupakya oluyi omwana teyafaayo yakabamu of course naye n'alinda second day of the meeting eyokubiri agenda bulungi nnyo n'abakwasa ebipapula byonna bino byetwayogera luli n'abagamba kati mweraba embaga ngivuddemu gali nalowooza mbw asaaga omuwala yagenda.
And I salute her for that. Bw'oba ng'omanyi ki ky'oyagala manya deal breaker. Waliwo abantu abatalina deal breakers.
Yagamba kankubye kati nga tulina kutegeka mbaga tannanfuna.
Then bwe naabeera mu nju kitegeeza bw'anaasaba ekintu nga tekiriiwo lugenda kuba lutalo. So ekintu kyonna you're stuck with those two. Era oli bw'ofuna obuzibu mu bufumbo gezaako kubukolako mpaka ng'olabye nti ddala kino tekikolekako. Okitegeera awo osobola okuba nga osala amagezi amalala. Naye ate bwe kijja mu relationship dating and what which can even cross into marriage. Omuntu waba breaking a trust you all the time omanyi trust kyekituviirako kubanga twagala omuntu kubanga omwesiga osobola omuterayo mukono nogamba nti gundi tasobola kikola ekyo naye ate bwabanga akikoze nakwenenyeza n'omusonyiwa n'akiddamu n'akikola kugamba nekifuuka ekyolutentezi oba nekifuuka omuze part of him oba part of her then omanya nti omuntu oyo tagenda kukyuka bwebanga omukkiriza n'ogamba nti owange sina kidala kyeŋŋendako mukkirize era ekyo kyeŋŋambako era last week nakigamba osiba omumwa n'otayogera kintu kyonna togamba ate mwenzi luli namukwatira mulogi ate ne luli namukwatira wano ate luli nemukwatira wano nedda toyanika datelineniwo mu public bwobanga omuntu omukkiriza okubeera naye ng'ali bw'atyo naye bwobanga that is a sign for you to let go bwabanga omuntu breaking amenyawo obwesigwa buli kaseera gwokwatira mu compromising situations omanya nti omuntu oyo tagenda kukyuka bweba personality ye oba bwabanga akisazeewo nze ngamba abantu kaati tewali akwambula skaati tewali akwambula kiteeteeyi okitegeera
babitwambula
era oba oyagadde ate babikwambula lwampaka oba oyagadde neweteekawo okitegeera era ne bakwambula ogusooka ne bakwambula ogwokubiri ne bagwa era gwe maama okiraba so abantu ebintu bino baba babisazeewo kyabayagala ekintu kyokola omulundi ogumu noddamu n'okikola ogwokubiri oba okyagala oba okinyumirwa ate oba okigenderedde tosobola gamba nti nze munnange saakigenderedde setaani yankemye era asanga gwe weka abalala nga tabakema okiraba kakati ezo excuses bwabanga omuntu akuwa excuse after excuse kwegamba ye abeerawo mu bulamu bwakwewuliriza kiringa bano era ne bwobanga gwateekamu ennyo mu relationship naye nga pati eri endala terina kyeteekamu olaba gwa communicatinga gwakuba obusimu gwakola ki
oyagala omukwano gutambule buli
naye ng'oli akuwa excuses leero mulimu leero nabadde ne maama wange bubeera ne maama wo tokwata simu leero nabadde ku ssomero leero nabadde ki obubonero bwe bateeka ku simu bwa lwatu you can ignore a phone call you can send a message to say I'm in a meeting oba I'm driving oba I'm doing what ababiteeka ku simu tebaali balalu so ekitegeeza omuntu bwakukubira you have all those options to choose era omuntu bw'oba naye osobola omugamba nti nze munaye bwe mba nga ndi busy I will ignore your call naye ate nja kuddamu nkukubire ye n'amanya nti bw'otyo bw'oli era waliwo abantu bw'omanyira n'omanya nti ono bwanzijjako ajja kuddamu ankubire naye waliwo oli n'agireka neevuga mpaka lweggwako n'atakwata ate n'atakuddamu after 3 days nalyoka agamba nali ne boosi wange kati nze oyagala mbeere malayika nkitegere nti wali ne boosi wo ye bw'obeera ne boosi wo tosobola kumpeereza message n'ongamba nti is it an emergency bwe mba nkukubira nga mbadde nfunye accident oba nga it's an emergency okiteere abantu we teach them how to respect us so omuntu bw'omuyigiriza nti osobola omugumiikiriza n'omuaccommodatinga you tolerate everything they do tebagenda kukyuka naye bw'omugamba nti nze nkubuulire this is my breaking point okikoze n'okikola so nina okweyagala ekimala nenkwejjako I withdraw nensooka nenkolako ebyange kubanga kirabika tetugenda mu kifo kyekimu
oluusi waliwo abagamba oba ebintu byetwogerako wano biri mu ideal world
tebiri mu ideal world
kubanga bw'ogenda mu reality Hilda bw'ogenda n'otuulira ekiri ebweru eyo abantu they will do anything ne bwaba akirabe nga kiri obvious nga n'omwana omuto akiraba ni mutufu onaasika kitajja
naye bakomekerezaawa njagala ombuulira amazima
era waliwo n'omuwala gwe mbadde nkunyumizaako wano yalina omuvubuka ne batuuka n'okwanja nga she's doing everything ne batuuka ne ku mbaga okutegeka embaga teyira ye yanoonya omusajja mukyala mpadde simu njagala kupimako suuti yo
nga
si byaliko namugamba ndi wano najja n'agimupimako n'agenda n'agitunga naye ng'omukazi afa okulanga omwami brings his body to church ne babagatta and at the end of the day she takes care of everything
naye njagala owulire the internal pain omwala ono gyagenda naye mu maaso ayinza okuba nga kyeyali ayagala kulaga kyalo nabeewaabwe nti nfumbiddwa nti nina omusajja oba okitegeera n'okuba ng'oyagala omusajja naye mbuulira omusajja g'odraginze n'osika to the altar nti agenda kukola ekintu kyonna ffenna twagala okwagalwa Farida toyagala muntu akulaga nti si byendiko olaba ne be baagalako ekitono bawulira tebamatidde naye kakati oyo atakulaga nti nkwetaagirako ddala mu bulamu bwange if someone does not want you, let them go. Lwali kizuula nti akwagala alikomawo. Ate ekintu kyetusinga obutayagala nnyo kubanga culture yaffe oba obuwangwa waffe wano kyebutuyigiriza kyebuyigiriza n'abaana okuva wansi nti kyateeka olina okufumbirwa, kyateeka olina kugamba waliwo ebintu ebimu ng'olaba
talina kitiibwa.
Kakati omwana n'atuuka abaana batandika okweraliikirira 21 natandika okweraliikirira na bolwa bambuuza naga nzolooza ndi nnomo nze nga tewali bankwana nzolooza ndi nnomo nga boyfriend wange tansaba sex nzolooza sisikiriza bwontunuulira naweereza n'ekifaananyi nagamba nti don't I look attractive, why isn't he attracted to me? Oba kitaba so tubadde nnyo mu bulamu of depending on someone else. Nti essanyu lyaffe kyekiki nayogerako waniira nengamba nti obulamu bwaffe tubuteekako pause negamba nja kusanyuka nga nfunye omusajja, nja kusanyuka nga nfunye obufumbo, nja kusanyuka nga nfunye kino. Obulamu tebubeerako pause, okufa kwe kukuteekako full stop. Kati ekitegeeza ng'okyaliwo olina ebintu ebingi nnyo by'osobola okukola. You can be single and searching, no searching omuntu n'ofuna omuntu nga naye akweguya alina degree ey'okukweguya ey'okukwagala.
Abamu babeera bagala akyulire from his mouth omanyi mukwano sikwagala nga actions tezimumala. Kati for example this person gwe mbadde nkunyumeza ye kasita yalaba omusajja amukkiriza are we going to get married ayinza nakuba omusajja ya proposing njagala kuwasa njagala kuwasa talina kabonero kalaga mbu
if you propose oyagala kumpasa okozewo ki okulaga nti oyagala kumpasa
nnyo okkiriza nzikiriza okuwasa
omuwala
omusajja nzikiriza okuwasa ate ebisigadde how I marry you is not the issue.
Nedda waliwo abantu by the way nga ye omulaba nti naturally si ye muntu amanye ekyokukola ali awo kwegamba ye ali mu nsi yiye. Waliwo abantu we batyo saagala sande bayise oba nakibuto oba sekibutte oba kwegamba ye nga ali awo tamanyi kigenda mu maaso. Waliwo abantu we batyo mu bulamu agoberera bugoberezi. Kati omuwala n'otuuka ekiseera n'omanya omuntu ono agamba nti ono nze nina omukulembera bweba byakwanjula era nino biwomamu omutwe ne bwaba ne ssente asobola okumpa ssente naye nga tamanyi gye biddira, tamanyi nnyanya ze bazigula, talina mikwano gigenda mugamba kwegamba ye ali awo naye ate ng'omuntu w'omwagala era oyo sigamba nti takwagala. Mu biseera byammwe ababiri omanyi nti akwagala, omanyi nti afaayo naye bino mu by'okufaayo kyakala ate tuyiye kino tuyiye kiri nga si ye muntu bw'atyo. Era omuntu bw'atyo
naye nga bw'aba afunye aleeta nagamba gomanyi bw'okitetenkanye
n'agamba nti simanyi gomesi bwe bazitunda mmeka simanyi kugamba buli kimu ng'akyejjamu naye ate waliwo abasajja nga bo baspearheadinga nabozaako mikwano gye gomesi ez'okwanjula bazitunda batya nti akakadde nagamba kakati bazitundawa ogenda okulaba oli awo bakusurprise nze oli akuwadde kati waliwo abato abawala abakyagala ennyo ekyo
abo
njagala onjiyize abo b'oyagala
kajaganyeza omusajja leader
bawala bangi nnyo abakyagala naye ate waliwo okubeera n'omukwano era abantu bangi nnyo abafumbiddwa abantu bwe batyo who are followers abasajja nga bafollowers basooka kuba mikwano gyabwe ne bategeera nti ono anjagala naye ate si mukulembeze so nnina omukulemberamu era tekimumenya lwakuba ategedde munne naye ate waliwo omuntu okulaga nti I don't care n'akulaga nti ne lwe mugenda okufumbirwa asula mu bbaala mpaka ssaawa 11 bamuzukusa buzukusa nogamba banayi mumutereko alamu bambi mumuzukuse atakwagala
okubira best man yazukuse abijjukira ye oba si kyekyokwegamba kaneze mu saloni yerabidde
apatinga n'abawala akola ki kugamba ne kabe muwala nga naye ali ku bibye ali n'abasajja atambudde akoze ati akulaga sigwe gwaliko ninga gw'omusika nti hane bambi tukole kino ate tugende tupime ate tugende tukole ki waliwo ekigera waliwo level omuntu walina okulagira interest nti ali interested mu kintu ekyo
nobawo noono nga takukkiririzaamu buli kimu abeera waliwo kye bayita psychological torture nga takubye takola kinaye ng'alina obuntu bwayogera obwo
ng'oli inferior kwegamba
ng'ageza kukussa wansi buli kaseera ne bweba career nga tayagala kweyimusa
kati waliwo abantu ekikola bwe kityo naye era waliwo abantu abasobola okukigumira n'abatasobola kukigumira kati gwe bw'oba nga tosobola kukigumira it's time to let go kubanga omuntu ono bw'aba nga akikola mu relationship ekitegeeza mu bufumbo ate kigenda kweyongeramu nnyo omuntu atakukkiririzaamu aba akumenya bw'obanga gwe tolina kirungi ky'oliyogera otwesaako n'ogamba nti munnange kakati tuzimbe oba mutandise okuzima n'ogamba nti oba kino kyanditunudde eno aga gwe tolina kyomanyi naawe olina byomanyi ate omuntu omulala bw'akikubulira ekintu kyekimu n'okissaamu nnyo ekitiibwa naye ng'ono akikubulidde tomusaamu kitiibwa kwegamba ayagala okukola kino ayagala ebyemirimu akubuuzaako kino agamba naye nawe ebyo tolina se mu relationship eyo ekitegeeza eddembe lye ery'obwebange lirinnyirwako ate ekitegeeza bw'abanga asobola okukikola mu relationship kyekikula kye ne mu bufumbo agenda kukikola kati gwe salawo ekyo kyewandiyagadde mu bulamu bwo
naye ate nono naye ndoozi ebeera character ye naye tetebeera character ye kuba aba akunyooma kubanga oli munne mukwano gwe bwakimugamba n'akikola lwaki nze tampuliza I'm supposed to be his friend
nti waliwo abantu nga bo era nja kizaayo ku culture waliwo abantu abakula n'obuwangwa obuwulira nti omukyala talina kyasobola kwogera n'empuliriza ate waliwo n'abakyala abakuzibwa nga bamugamba nti omwami buli kyayogera kyekituufu kakati okiraba nti ne bw'anayogera ekikyamu kubanga bakugamba nti omwami buli kyayogera kyekituufu gwe kyojja okutwala kubanga teweesalirawo bakikuyigiriza so gwolowooza nti kyekituufu naye ate nga osobola okuchallenginga omwami mu ngeri enkakkamu n'omugamba nti bw'obanga business idea eyo ogireese bw'otyo lwaki tetusookedde ku kino ne tulaba engeri gyetu bw'oba ogambye nti oyagala kuleeta nkoko 1,000 lwaki tetusooka ku nkoko 2 ne tusooka tuyige bazigema batya bazirabirira batya rate chi ya loss enfa yazo zifa zitya ne before nga tetuna kutekinga on agamba nti anze bansomedde deal ya nkoko 1,000 ya nkoko kino okitegeera zonna ne zijja ne zifa oba olusi ne wabaawo omulala akimugamba n'alyoka akikujjukiza after 2 months n'agamba gundi yampadde amagezi ndowooza gajja kukola naye nga wakimugamba ye n'atakiwuliriza okiraba kati ekitegeeza bamugamba nti omukyala buli kyanayogera ate omuntu bw'obeera emotionally bound to them waliwo ebintu ebimu by'otalaba naye ng'owebweru yabiraba olina akugamba nti omwami oyo alina omukyala muyiiya omukyala mutetenkanya naye ng'omwami gwali naye takirabangako ye alaba omukyala talina magezi omukyala talina kukola ki naye ng'owabweru yakiraba so tugezeeko nnyo okulaba nga bapartners baffe betuli nabo mu bufumbo mu relationship otegeera kikyali amaanyi ge galuwa ate era bw'aba business venturing nga ye ali awo ayagala nnyo ebintu bya manya nti ajja tukulaakulanya mu ngeri eyo mu kifo kyo kiteeka wansi kizimbe kubanga ffenna tetumanyi bulamu gye bugenda kukomekkereza
esimu kweziri twaziguddewo dda kuba oteese ku mulamu hello avuddeko omulala hello wankisebo
bannaye nga mwogera bulungi nga mulina empisa
empisa ozirabidde kuki
epuroguramu zammwe nga tuzinyumirwa nnyo
mwebale kusiima
omukazi oyo yannyonnyola bambi ebintu abantu bye bakolera ddala ebikyamu byonna bimanyi manyi kubanga obuuliridde abantu bangi ne bayiga abamu babadde tebamanyi naye tebalaba puroguramu yo bayiga
nkale sebo webale nnyo kusiima
mubeere bulungi
naawe beera bulungi omulala hello okay Shafiq Wanagamba, since I started watching this program, a lot has changed. And being a professional counselor, Madam Bahati, you have added value to my life. Thanks, NTV and Lady Farida. Hello? Bridget Kawesa. Thanks, Farida. Nzo omusajja atanyongera ku value like he doesn't push me to be to be better oyo mba simusobola.
That can work two way really. Njukira twayogera last week uta expecting bintu mbantu balala waliwo ebintu nga ffe tulina byeteekako weteekako value eyo n'okola nnyo ne weeyongerayo kubanga oluusi oyinza mu bulamu bwonna oyinza obutafuna musajja akwongerako value nga gwe olina ogyeteekako
ayinza nokuba naye akulabye nga tekusaana
kakati ekitegeeza olina okukola internal work how to move on and how to let go focus inward tewali agenda bikukolera gwe agenda obyekolera ekintu kyonna kyosobola okwekolera tokireka muntu mulala yenna kukikukolera yes
okay ali ku simu hello simanyi simu zaffe zirina ekikyamu hello kuwolisebo tukwaniriza nnyo.
Hello?
Hello?
Mwasuze omutya Bahati Tansala.
Twasuze bulungi ssebo, wasuze oti?
Nkubidde kaliro.
Yes, sebo.
Wabula simanyi program zinyumira nnyo.
Ebale kusiima. Abudeko. Said, ayina erinnya Mukama. Agambye, good morning. I left my banking job because I had lost interest. I love banking and it's what I'm doing now. But okay, baking.
Oh.
Yava mu banking nada mu baking. Akayagala nnyo leeta B. Okay, joke. I love baking and it's what I'm doing now. But my biggest demotivation is from my immediate family. They have called me a failure, a loser, and a mad woman. Their negativity is too much. How can I deal with it?
You're an average of every 5 people you spend a lot of time with. Obanga oli nange n'abalala abantu abataana abo be basinga naye jjukira tunakugambye nti abantu abakuteeka wansi be bantu boyina okuteekako ku mabbali.
Jjukira no family.
Yes, family, yes. You can let go. As in not letting go nti mbakyaye, but letting go nti balina we bakoma. Then you take on. Fenna tetwakola bintu bye batusuubiriza. If I would say, I think my family didn't know because I'm the firstborn in my family. Bali tebamanyi anything about life coaching, about counseling.
Tata wange yali agala nnyo mbeera omusomesa. Nti obaana baazadde talabamu musomesa. Kati nangamba
Faida oli ku blackboard.
Sisobola. Era namugambira osana nga Faida nja kuzimbira essomero ng'omaze. Namugamba tata nkwegayiridde. Neesige nakusoma busomesa nze sibwagala.
Okiraba. Kakati ekitegeeza oyo alina passion nti ayagala okubanga a baking ate bantu bangi nnyo bendabye. Nga alese a very high profile job for baking ate n'ayitamu n'abanga ye supplier wa cakes nga akolera na waka nga talina nadduka na town nga akolera waka naye nga everyday aina orders. So ekyo demotivating. Let it be your motivation to prove them wrong. Nti one day bagenda kubanga be batandika okuzisomba nga be balagirira abalala nti muganda wange akola cake nti mukulu wange akola cake nga be baleeta all the orders. So right now build it. Tewali asobola kuwana kintu kitavuddeeyo katigezaako kukizimba kive wansi. Oyinza okuba ng'okyali ku musingi naye abantu bagenda kiraba nga
marketing right in social media make it very beautiful.
Marketing, make sure that you do promotions, make sure that weeteka strategically awali wedding meetings and what waliwo abantu abatawo affording za bei nnyo. So osobola okutappinga into that crowd esobola oku affording eziri a bit cheap. As in do everything in your power okulaba nti ekintu omwana wo omusupportinga akule. Then buli agenda okumulaba agenda gamba nti omwana oyo nga mulungi. Right now you pay the price. Yes.
Okay. Ali kusimu. Hello. 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 Biamukama Jeff agamba Farida and Hilda, thanks for the program. Hello Sebo. Hello. Okay. Thanks.
Hello?
Yes Sebo. Twakute mukwano.
Hello.
Wanji nyabo.
Farida gyebale.
Kale bambi nawe gyebaleko.
Nze wampita Sharon.
Yes Sharon.
Kakati mbadde gankubuuza omukyalo. Nze nyina omwami wange naye ebintu byakola byonna olaba nti tanneesi ate wengezaako kive mu mikwano gyange ne baŋŋamba nedda guma saba.
Takwesiga atya?
Like tanzikiririzaamu.
Biki byakola ebikulowoozesa mbu ekyo kyalo?
Kale ne we mba muwa amagezi tukole kino tukole kiriya tekisobola biki ate ng'abalala abawuliriza.
Okola?
Nedwaka era nali nkola naye nga tubeera ewaka kugamba ng'olaba nti n'abakozi abakkiririzaamu okusinga nze ne tuuka n'okulowooza oba abaagala omulimu ne nguvaako ne ntuula ewaka.
Waguvaako lwekyo walowooza nti bwe naavaayo osanga anatandika okundabawo oba byali birala nnyo ebyakuviirako okuva ku mulimu?
Anti nali nkola naye ng'ate abakozi kati we tubeera ewaka tugeze omukozi akoze ensobi kati ng'ate awuliriza nnyo ebyabakozi okusinga ebyange ne ŋŋamba oba abaagala
nogaa kuva job protecting obufumbo
ngaaga nti ebyabakozi mbeesonye kubanga kyali kitutawula nga ŋŋamba lwaki okkiririza mu bakozi okusinga nze mukyalawo ŋŋamba gwe musobya omuntu waba akoze nsobye mukwatawo ti biki nga njagala abeere ku sayidi yange naye ng'ate yabeera ku sayidi endala.
Okay, katukuddemu kakati kiba tekisoboka njagala kusookera ku side ye kubanga nze bwe mba mpuliriza bintu bibiri yo side ne side y'omuntu gw'oyogerako naddala bw'abanga ayogera ku bakozi ayogera ku ngeri y'omuntu okukkiririzaamu olina kukola kinene nnyo ku lwaki abantu bakukkiririzaamu kati njagala nkubuuze lwaki nkukkiririzaamu lwaki nkwesiga oba okitegeera kubanga ebintu byokola bye bindeetera okwesiga oba okukkiririzaamu kakati n'okutya okungi mistake number 1 wava ku mulimu n'otuula waka olw'ensonga etaliimu ekitegeeza nti waliwo obuzibu oyinza okuba nga tosobola bwadmitinga ebintu ebino ebimu tubiyiga kuva waka gye twakuzibwa n'oyiga waliwo amaka nga gayisa abakozi bubi nnyo ng'omukozi tayogera bw'abanga omusanze alina kyatakoze omuvuma n'omulangira n'okola ki naye ate nga waliwo abakozi engeri gye babakwatamu jjukira omukozi omulekera omwana wo jjukira omukozi abafumbira emmere okitegeera asobola okukola ekikyamu kyonna kyayagala mu maka ago kubanga ogamulekera from straight 10 hours masawa 10 ali yekka mu maka ekitegeeza asobola okukola kyonna kyayagala kitegeeza n'abakozi balina okusibwamu ekitiibwa bw'oba ng'oyogera naye waliwo abantu abatalina njogera nga ne bw'aba ayogera n'omwami we amuboggolera gwe tewakoze kino nze nakutomye kino nze nakoze eki kakkana oli muntu naye yeerabira ate bw'aba akugambye nti we neerabidde si musango muntu so ekitegeeza nti omukozi bw'abanga akugambye nti yeerabidde okuteekako amazzi mu budde mugambe nti naye olala tokiddangamu tukolagane mu ngeri yogera naye bulungi kubanga naye aba muntu mukulu alina gye yakuzibwa alina byamanyi ne byatamanyi bw'ajja muyigirize abantu abasinga bempuliddeko abali mu mbeera y'emu n'omukyalo ono babanga treatment towards abakozi yanjawulo omwami amanyi yanjawulo n'omukyala amanyi yanjawulo omwami abakozi abatreatinga ng'abaana awaka omukyala abakozi abatreatinga nga bagwira
naye jjukira ono issue teri with bakozi bokka
anti kakati ekyabakozi nkicapitalizingako olw'okuba ayogedde ku difference ey'omwami engeri gyakirabamu awulira omwami asaidinga n'abakozi
naye oba yajjanga nga n'ayogera omanyi waliwo omuntu najja n'ayogera nga n'abakozi bwe bali ebiseera ebisinga omwami bw'olaba ng'omukyala bafunyemu obutakkaanya n'omukozi you can be there n'ogezako kuwuliriza mu bubba omwami mukyala wo bw'ajjako ne mudda mu kisenge nga omanyi mukwana naye yayinza okuba yajjanga n'amulekanirawo mu bakozi
ekyo era nja kyogerako ndowooza nja kuddako ku sayidi y'abaami abamu kye bayitirirako omwami omukyala naaba nga buli kanaku akikola nga muze gwa lutentezi lumu either n'afukamiza omukozi awo n'atandika omulangira n'akola ki omwami n'amugamba nti omasituka ogende oba okitegeera kati olaba bwe kikunyiga ng'omukyala situka ogende omwami awulira nga kimuyitiriddeko byoyogera is too much omwana ono okiwanvuyiza oluusi n'okiwanvuya wiiki namba n'oyombera ekintu kyekimu omwami n'awulira nga kimususeeko azin lumu na reactinga naye nga sigamba nti buli kanaku abadde ta reactinga bulungi ayinza n'obba kulekera kati waliwo abagamba waliwo abaami bemanyi n'agamba omukyala nkubuulira abakozi mbakulekedde gwagenda obba employinga gwamanya byokola nabo saagala kumanya nga ye kimuyitiriddeko so oluusi naffe abakyala sigamba nti kyokola omukyala ono atukubidde sigamba nti kyokola naye kino nkyogedde as in generally okubanga ekintu ekisinga okuleeta obutabanguko omwami alaba bulala naawe olaba bulala
kati akola atyo omukyalo kuba olaba atanze n'okulowooza oba akiveemu
omukyalo ono yeetaaga obuyambi ate obuyambi bwe weetaaga okutuula n'omwami wo togenda kufuna feedback emala kubanga ebintu bino mubiddiringanyemu it's a vicious cycle ekitegeeza mwetaaga a neutral third party omuntu atabamanyi okubanga awuliriza ensonga yo naye ate nga si nsonga yaggweka ng'omukyala kubanga obujjanjabi tojja bufuna mbuyita bujjanjabi naye solution tojja gifuna twetaaga okuwulirako ku sayidi y'omwami kiki kyawuliriza tosobola kusala musango guno oba ate sina kusala musango naye kukola ku mbeera eno nga towuliriza mwami ye akiraba atya lwaki akikola bwatyo kubanga naye alina ensonga zo zayinza okukuwa nga 6 oba 10 zalaba mu mukyalo ono ezimuleetera okureacting engeri gya reactingamu naye ate ng'omukyala yamanyi kiri nomo wali obaddeko n'omuntu awunya akamwa naye nga yawuli awunya ka perfume naye omugamba weekebereke neekebere ntya nebwe mpulya siwunya bubi okiraba omuntu ng'awunya n'omubiri naye nga teyeewulira kati omuntu bw'obeera ennyo mu mbeera gwe olekeraawo okugitegeera nti ndi muyombi nti ndi muvumi nti mboggola nti nkola ki ate nga byebintu ebitono nnyo ebiputinga off abantu abalala so weetaaga okwogera n'omuntu if possible tujja kuwa enamba okube osobola okuba nga tumiitinga
naye no decision gyakola okuva ku mulimu gwe
it's a bad decision kubanga ate n'ekirala bw'obanga omwami ogamba takukkiririzaamu byoyogera bw'obeera awaka you're going to lose ideas tolina ideas kwegamba toli out there you're not exposed bw'okomawo mboozi kiza ogenda kunyumya naye kubanga bw'akomawo genda munange omwana kino omwana kiri omukozi kiri kwegamba omanyi biryawo ate ye nga yandiyagadeko omuntu gwa amchallenginga namugamba by the way today we were in a meeting netwogera kino netwogera kino obadde okimanyi kino bwe kiti ekyuma kiwagala kyuma kinnaakyo naye bw'obanga osazeewo okubeera wakati nga kusalawo okwo si mwami wo eyo yali nsobi
tukyagenda mu maaso programu wase mutya tavaawo kati mulimu katono nnyo amasimu tugenda kwongera ogakwata mu kitundu ekisembayo tavaawo
This is you. Your friends. Your family. Your fellow Ugandans. All are rising. Because when people get information that is incisive, in-depth, and analytical, people take action. People create change. NTV News. Moving Uganda.
Wanna make some cash? Just dial *185#.
Amanya gange mpitibwa Mulidu Aziz nga nva Jinja. Nakulwa leero mbadde mu kyuma kya Airtel Money nenewera ku ssente nfunye $5 mugumu n'enusu kasanvu okufuna essente ezo nassa ssente zange ku Airtel Money nga ngula data nkuba amasimu ag'obwere nga nkozesa WhatsApp nga nfunye data okuva ku ssente ezo so munayita okufuna omukisa ogwo kubanga nange nfuna omukisa ogwo ogujjakayo mu kyuma okubeera ssente.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
There's Health Center 2, which is Maruku, which is not far out from here. I went to that health center and I found on one bed.
Why can't you move a motion in Parliament to cut your salaries to go to the health sector?
An ostrich may cover its head, but the back will be seen. You are only covering your heads, but the bum is seen and it's dirty.
Medical, they are so bad. When you go there in the hospital, it's too bad.
Because of the number of people we receive, these drugs run out.
Oliku NTV tuline Bahati Hilda. Yes, Hilda. Anne Haley wanagamba webale nnyo Farida ne Bahati. Nze nalina omusajja nga ayombayomba nnyo. Ate nga ali proud and arrogant nnyo. He wouldn't care to lose me.
A person who doesn't care to lose you let go. A person who doesn't care kintu kyoyagala okirwanira. As in ne bwoba ng'oli mu nsobi by the way. Bakukwatidde mu nsobi. Oli akugambye nti ngenda. N'okwata okugulu.
N'odduka ku nnyumba ye n'osula ku mulyango. Asooka akusanga bagamba kinyabo.
Ajja kukola ekintu kyonna kyasobola okulaga nti nkoze ensobi naye nkyakwetaaga. Naye ate waliwo abantu ng'amalala mangi ali arrogant ng'oyo bw'agambye a person who does not care to lose you lose them before they lose you. I said it.
Yeah.
Hey, lose them before they lose you. Dump them before they dump you. Babanga he doesn't care. Obogendo batogenda. No. Njagala nnyo nkwagale nga nange your life revolves around me nga my life revolves around you. Obo kitegeera. Love is a give and take. Togenda gamba nti nze munange nja kuwaayo buli kimu ate nkaabe ate neweeyo ng'oli omulala ali ku birala nnyo.
Alinga go bakupimako. Hello, ali ku simu. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Wanji Nyabo.
Hello, Farida.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Now, I'm called Tina.
Tina?
Tina.
Okay, Pina.
I'm having a Kenyan boyfriend, like, it's been almost for a year.
Yes.
When we met, he told me he had a kid and he wanted to have a life together. He had a relationship before. So me personally too, I have a baby. So we're like, okay, let's this thing go on. Now, I later realized the woman comes to his home in Uganda.
Comes to do what?
But he told me everything that goes on. They told me to do this stuff. But here it comes for yeah. So right now I feel everything he told me is a lie. Yeah. Because even comes around, but the things will work out with depression, man, and to work out with people. So I think I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to leave him or not.
So you want out?
I'm trying to hang on, but I'm losing it.
Okay, Pina.
Actually, he wants me to go back to school. He wants to support me with him. I don't know if to leave him or not.
Have you moved out already?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I
just
need to
give
be
you a
very
way
clear,
forward.
but I think we picked a few things.
Pina, your line was not clear, but this is how a lie works. You lie to get something, you lie to maintain it, and you lie to have it. So a lie is not something that will just end. It will not end. And if this person has lied about one thing, two things, three things, five things, it's becoming a habit and it's a personality. That means that you have to be very sure about what you're getting into. Ate togenda kufuna bukakafu. Ekitegeeza nti obukakafu, he has to break that record. Ayina okulaga nti kakati I'm coming clean. And you have to give him that comfort. Why is he lying? Is it because he fears losing you? Is it because he fears he can't have you? Is it because, find out, if he is lying for any other reason other than having you in his life, then you don't deserve to be with him, because that is his personality. But one...
Hilda Chogama Chirioke, Nebwalimba. What is the highest thing you can lie about?
Anti kakati ayinza nti nino omwana omu naye nga ayina babiri. Ayinza okulimba nti sikyalina maama w'abaana bano oba tetulina nkolagana naye nga ayina enkolagana. Ebintu ebiri obvious abantu tayagala kuluzinga. Naye ate bw'olaba nti yeekubira nnyo eri waliwo okulimba kwe ayina kyabikako. Bw'abanga ayina kyabikako oba si buli, as in it's not something you can stand.
Kyabikako tegeza.
Anti kakati kyabikako ayinza okuba nga abikako nti akyamitinga ne baby mama. Nga kyamumitinga. As in they still have an affair. Wadde nga teri defined. Eri awo. So he wants a girlfriend, he wants someone, naye nga kiri tekiri defined. Naye bw'obanga olaba nti over and over again there is something that is happening, kyabika, then omanya nti there is a problem. Ate, let's learn to trust our instincts. Sometimes they look out for us. Waliwo ebintu ebimu bye tuteeka ku mabbali. N'owulira okwekengera, n'owulira kino naye n'obiteeka ku mabbali. Oluusi kiba kikugamba gulawo amaaso go, waliwo ekigenda mu maaso ky'otalaba. Naye ate omuntu ono bw'olaba nti omanyi his whereabouts, omanyi essaawa z'abeera ku mulimu, omanyi waliwo transparency. Okuva ku lwe yeenenyezza ng'omaze okutegeera nti waliwo bye yakulimba. Mutambudde akabanga, let's learn to give these people a time frame. Omwe time frame omugambe nti in the next 3 months, bw'obanga ozzeemu okunimba about the same thing or any other thing, nja kumanya nti guno muzeego era nja kumanya nti si ye gwe muntu gwe njagala mu bulamu bwange. okitegeera omuntu ono bw'omuwa time frame oba ya myezi 3 myezi 6 nolaba nti are working so hard to earn your trust
naye nga tunabeera mu relationships healed abantu nga balimba
anti kakati abantu balimba naye ate waliwo okulimba kwolaba nti I can overcome this, I can forgive. Kubanga part of letting go is forgiving.
Okulimba kwenyinza okuovercoming kwe kuliwanga nja kuleetera nja kugulirayo akamotoka natakagula kwekukosobola okuovercominga
anti kakati waliwo ekyo kakati ekyo kiba nakisuubizo tekiba kyakulimba kubanga omuntu bobeera naye mu relationship ajaga njagigula kwegamba time egenda so tomugamba nti wanimba kubanga amanyi nti nkyali naawe so wenzifunira nja kukigula kati nezo promises ezitavaayo zireetera okubanga osindikirirwa emmeeme ogamba nti naye omanyi kino ekintu omuntu ono byasuubiza
funa no shireta
yes naye ngamba extreme obulimbo obuli extreme osanga omuntu nagamba ono muganda wange nenga yali exwe okitegeera oba si kyekyo oyo mwana wa muganda wange then oluvannyuma n'okizuula nti mwana we lwaki yali akulimba banaye tetuli bamalayika tuva gye tuva nga tulina history behind every person there is a history kakati nze bwenzija ne history wange nizo kubanga nina baggage mu history wange boba wakunjagala nga bwendi naye nja kweyambulira nkubuulire nti this is who I am kakati totya nnyo kugamba nti ono tajja kunjagala bwaba takwagadde na mwana wagende bwaba nga takwagadde nga bwoli kati agende bwaba nga takwagadde ng'olina C-section buliyanya abakyala ate kakati munange sisobola kumweyambulira ate twagenza ate twakoze eki ate munange nina C-section nedda mugambe nazaala it was a cesarean birth and if he doesn't want that let him move on to the next person who didn't get a normal birth okitegeera so tetwemenya waliwo ebintu bye twemenya nabyo be yourself and love yourself the way you are so tetujja kufuna nnyo buzibu obwo bwakulimba ate olimbe kino ate olimbe kino obikkirire kiri yes naye nga pina we can still sit down and tailor make something for you specifically for your particular relationship.
I'll give you Hilda's number before we close the show today. Hello. Hello. Wanji nyabo. Kwasiza bulungi wasiza watya? Line you're telling very clear. Kale nyabo naye line you're telling clear. Abika avudeko no. Wanji? Avudeko. Hello. 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 Amasemo ndoza nechichamu byamukama Jeff Bwenade kugamba. Farida and Hilda, thanks for the program. I think what has happened is that we no longer have time to ourselves. We have lost the singleness in us and we end up staying in something we should have gotten out already if we took time with ourselves and listened to our inner convictions.
There's inner convictions nayogedde tulaba nnyo red flags nishugamba nti wano waliwo ekizibu like landmines olwokuba otya okubeera weka kyekiki nakugambye tuva mu buto nga tutendekeddwa nti the only happiness you can have is when you're with someone. That is a lie. You can be happy and alone as you wait and search for the right person. The right person tagenda kujanga ali in the right package by the way. Tagenda kujanga afaanana nga bw'oyagala. Naye era waliwo values zogenda okulaba beera ne principles ne values zolaba. Ate ne list ye okugamba njagala Hanks, manyi American Heights, manyi ali chocolate browns, manyi bichi. Those are all fairy tales and fantasies. Ebitasobola kutuukirira. Naye kakanako obeere ne basics. Omuntu akusaamu ekitiibwa, omuntu akukkiririzaamu, omuntu akufaako, omuntu akwagala, omuntu ansonyi kubeera n'abalala. Those basics. Then bino ebirala package biki kwambala biki omuntu osobola okukyusa anytime. Those are things that come and go. Omuyambako n'akyusa. Simanyi he doesn't look sexy. No, people change to look sexy. Oba se sexy simanyi wekifaanana. Naye people know.
Okay, omulala ali ku simu. Hello. Hello. Oh, good. Hello. Okay, Mbonimpa Jacqueline. Agamba, thanks for the show. Can a Catholic girl marry a Muslim man and they have a settled relationship in future if the lady has not changed? Okay.
Okay.
That's a big topic.
I know. Two people from different religions, especially these are extreme religions. Catholics are extreme and Muslims are on the extreme. So musobola okuba no romantic stage esobola bagata where mweyagala mweguli obumulimu message kisi bichi naye ate bwe mutuuka ku a time where you have to settle down in a relationship, then ebintu bitandika okubeera a bit boring. So notandika okunoonya kyewamulabamu nga tokiraba ate oluusi naye religion yenge mugamba kirala wakugambira nti okyuka oba tokyuka tubiveeko naye nga mu romance yali tasobola kigamba kubanga tyokkuluzinga. So mu bantu bonna bendabye oba mu survey zonna zenkoze, most of the times there will always be a problem. Abaana bagenda wa abaana babeera baawukanamu abaana omusajja agamba abaana bagenda mu ddiini yange omukyala naye agamba abaana mugattibwa wamukola ki. So wabeerawo families okugata because temwegatta babiri mweka mugatta families. So mwetaaga okukakasa waliwo premarital counselling gye mulina okuyitamu okukakasa nti ddala mu maaso eyo ebintu bigenda kuba fine musobole okubeera ne projection naye ate nga most of the people I'm sorry to say don't work out. Yes. Even after 15 years, something comes up.
But and okwerengera nti teyali suppose the family yange approving as if family teyali woruli. My boyfriend follows everything I post on Facebook and he says that my posts are directed to him. Even when I explain, he doesn't believe me because I have no hidden reason that can make me do that. Yeah, he does this even now that he is not in the country.
Yeah, by the way, that's a very big problem. Yeah. Kakati, this is the trick. Farida, we post according to how we feel. Nebobanga you're copying from somewhere to post to your page, you post ekintu ekikukwatako kyopostinga ku page yo. Kakati ekitegeeza omuntu ono asobola okumanya nti kakati ono she does not love me or she loves me. People can read your moods according to what you post on your Facebook page. That has happened to me too. You posted something like you were speaking to me, and clearly until when I got to know that I post things according to how I feel. Sometimes leka binebyo kubanga nkola ebyemirimu posting ebintu because of the people and what, but back then before when abanga ngankosa social media because of work posting according to how I feel. So ngomuntu asobola okumanya nti they have a problem. they have this watch together. So that is very normal and he is very right to say that. Bwabanga laba kyo postinze kikwatagana ku kyemwayogeddeko oba kumbera gye muyitamu as a couple. So gezako kulabanga you detach yourself. Social media talina kubeerako bulamu bwo. Social media should have a different side of your life, not your emotional side. Not buli omu alina okumanya kye kigenda mu maaso bulamu.
You can bring out the fun side of you. Okay, yes, Hilda, tudemu points zito lwazimazeeza obubonero kwolabira nti obutuufu kino kigaanye kankite naddala mu relationship.
Waliwo abantu bangi nnyo bembuuziza gamba nti when was the happiest moment in your relationship? Naye nga tajjukira when n'alowooza n'agamba myaka giri egyatandika
olwo giyiseewo nga
musanvu ng'omulaba akaddiye enkanyanya zimuzze ku face. Bwebanga relationship eikuleetera okwennyika depression, anxiety n'okubanga teweeyagala okusinga okweyagala nga tojjukira ne lwe wasembayo okuba musanyufu generally kubanga Christmas either musika muguwa muba muyomba Easter buli lunaku lukulu waliwo kapozi manyi nga buli lunaku lukulu balina okulwana olwokuba either omukyala abadde ayagala tukyalire gundi nze sagala gendayo nze sagala kugamba balina obumulumulu obuli awo. When were you last happy? Bwobanga ngamba nti for the past week you've never cracked a joke with your partner, temusekanga ko no sense of humor, nothing, manya there is a problem. Kubanga kati bwe munafumbirigana mugena kolowera nti mugena kwena nga ba inmates abali mukomera atenga ne mufumbo, you have to be on your best game. You have to be laughing and kissing and loving each other every day. Yengeri yokajo sobola okumaintaininga mu obufumbo nga bweyagaza. So bwobanga ebibi bisinga ku birungi ebiri mu relationship eyo, it's time to let go. Kizibu nkimanyi kizibu.
I know.
Naye waliwo olwolabira ddala nti countinga oli n'omuwa olupapula. I give them assignments. N'omuwa olupapula n'omugamba wandiika. Nakuwandikira olukalala lwa byatayagala ebibi byonna biri ebimnyiza omugamba wandiika ebirungi. ng'ate agezaako okujjukira ng'awandikako namba 2 najjukira n'awandikako ekyokusatu n'agamba kakati kino nakyo kyakoma oba mwaka guli oba kino kyakoma mwaka guli kwegamba nga atracinga bitracing
moments buli obwasooka obulungi bwe bumukuumiraawo alinda olunaku lwe balifunayo ka moments akalala
naye nga ka moments tekajja so oba weemalamu amaanyi mu bulamu bwo jjukira olina obulamu bumu ate buli woobuwestinga ng'olemera ku kintu ng'okimanyi tekijja kukola waliwo olwolemera ku kintu ng'okimanyi tekijja kukola ne bwe naakola ntya tekigenda kukyuka
naye ate tebalina ssuubi nti kino bwe nnaakita ngenda kufuna omuntu omulala
naye ate nga tekitegeeza nti bw'ona omuta togenda kufuna muntu mulala oyinza okutwala akabanga naye waliwo circumstances ng'okubeera weka kisinga okubeera mu relationship ng'ekumalako emirimu
waliwo omuntu gw'osanga nga relationship yali agiremeddemu naye paka nakkiriza nakamanyi kankite ne wayitawo nga yamukaabya nnyo nga ne time eyo bwe baakita ne wayitawo
n'emyezi tegiwera
natalakuga Farida ntulawo neŋŋamba oba nali kuki
nandibadde nakitama
oba nali kuki ntulira n'omuntu neŋŋamba kati nakaabira ki nali nkaabira ki kweri naye nga luli mu kiseera ekyo yali agamba sigenda kudamufuna
bw'obeera mu mbeera eyo oba olowooza obulamu bwo buweddeyo naye obulamu bwo tebuweddeeyo butandika butandisi ate those moments kakati obanga okyajjukira bujjukizi those moments ebirungi ebibi bisinga ku birungi essanyu tewakyaliwo omuntu tokyamwesiga takyakola bintu byeyalinga akola akyuse muntu mulala nnyo wali owuliddeko abantu
abakyogera relationships sikyesera okuendingira
anti abantu tebabeera kyekimu naye ate waliwo abakyuka for the worse okiraba oli nakyukira ddala nafuuka omuntu aganza omuntu gwendi naye mu nju sikyamutegeera si ye muntu gwe nayagala okitegeera kakati omuntu bw'atyo olinda ate afuuke kiki ekirala bw'obanga musobodde okutuula wansi ate communication yaffe waliwo tucommunicatinga n'osambagala n'okola kino edda omuntu mutuuze wansi omugambe naye ekintu kino ate omuntu bw'akugamba Farida nti sikwagala aba akuyambye bw'akugamba nti kino ekintu tekijja kukola nakijja mu kamwa muwulirize togezaako okutandika ku defendinga muwulirize kubanga watuukidde okukijja mu kamwa nti tekijja kukola tukiveeko amaanyi naye aba abivuddeko nga kimanyi tekijja kukola
webale nnyo Bahati Hilda enamba ya Hilda leero kanjibawe pina n'oli omukyalo omulala yakubye nga alina kyobuuza you can easily get in touch with her ali ku 757 musanvu 5 7 11 I hope you got it mwabale nnyo enkya tugenda kubandoza tuzinamu
Mwasuze Mutya was brought to you by
Just add the Radiant Hair Polisher before styling and finish your magical look with the Radiant Olive Sheen Spray. Your big day is definitely on. Radiant. Feel yourself.
Your life and your health are too important to be risked with a person who does not love you enough to want to protect you.
Finance Trust Bank introduces the Women's Choice products, exceptional financial solutions coupled with high interest on savings and low interest on loans to meet her unique needs.
Finance Trust Bank, putting women first.
NTV, turning on your world.
Wanna make some cash? Just dial *185#.
Amanya nze Thaddeus Charles Bukenya nga nva Masaka mu Greater Masaka era nga ndi mukozi mu kibiina ky'abakatoliki abakozi Catholic Workers Movement nze National Secretary office yaffe eri Lubaga. Nebaza nnyo aba Airtel okuterawo omukisa guno ogw'okuwangula era nga olunaku lwaleero mu kazannyo kano mpangudde emitwalo 68 mu kakaaga.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Beauty Tips is brought to you by
Now with micro droplets of Vaseline jelly. solution deeply moisturizes dry skin and keeps skin smooth and restored for 3 times longer. That's the healing power of Vaseline.
Accord, in partnership with Uganda National NGO Forum, are organizing a roundtable policy dialogue this Friday at 7 a.m. at Protea Hotel. Join us for this live broadcast discussing building bridges and partnerships for peace in KCCA, policy options for effective service delivery and economic transformation.
This week on T Nation.
Random and funny right here. You tell your crew, I tell my crew, we party all night.
Catch a brand new episode of T Nation every Saturday at 11 a.m. only on NTV.
This is NTV.
No, I don't want that past to come back. I don't want that. I don't want it.
All this time you denied being the Velvet Woman. And it was you. I knew it. But now that I found you, nobody is going to touch you except me, you hear me? No one but me, because you are mine! Velvet Woman.
Are you sure you're okay? You're not hurt at all?
Fortunately. Of course, I've been close to my friend here since the party started. Maybe that's why I'm alive, and Venus too, eh?
Thank God you were here and able to put out the fire in time before... I saw what got burnt, and it's not a big deal. Nothing but just a few boxes of fabric.
Listen to me. Don't tell me it's not a big deal. This could have been a tragedy. Imagine the headline. Star of international design dies in tragic fire surrounded by his final collection that promised to be...
Well, of course, but it's all over. Over. What's so strange is the way the fire started like that, all of a sudden and out of nowhere, you know?
Of course. I thought I was a goner. I thought it was all over for me.
What happened? I couldn't believe it when security told me what happened. What got burned? No, nothing important, but I didn't know you had stayed. I thought you left early with everybody else.
Well, no, I couldn't. I wanted to make sure that everything was well organized.
Okay, and what happened to your blouse then?
Nothing. I got it caught on the door.
Eva. This thing is so strange. Man, how could a fire have started like this? The normal security systems are all working just fine now. I mean, everything was under control.
What, you stayed in the office as well?
Yes. Why are you asking me that?
No reason in particular.
Oh, my love, thank you for taking me out, my darling. Although, to tell you the truth, I would have liked for us to spend more time at the apartment with Sergio, you know?
I know, my love, some other time when it's less hectic. I don't feel very well.
All right, but I'm sure you're feeling better after my care, my attentions. I mean, hey, see how you've changed? You're all handsome, my love.
Yeah, you're right, my love. I am better, thanks to you.
Just imagine, baby, when we are living as husband and wife, then I'm going to make sure you're contented, well cared for. I'll cook so you can eat right.
Baby, you don't even know how to cook.
No, but I do know how to order in. Oh, and you know what? We could hire 2 cooks. One for... My love, what are you looking at?
What?
I mean, did you lose something?
At what?
Oh, say, Ignacio, since we came in, you've been looking around everywhere except right into my eyes.
Me?
What do you expect to find? Eva the rat or what?
Hey, what's the matter? These are just nerves. I'm not in the mood for your jealousy right now. Everything is just great, so don't ruin it.
You may be right, my love. I'm sorry. What if I you come to my room for a while and we close the door so nobody will bother us.
Baby.
Okay. Another time, my love, whenever you want to. You know what we need, my love?
What?
To take a trip or do something. Just you and me, no?
What do you mean? Right now?
No, you dummy. Not right now. Sometime soon. Soon, my love. Lately, you've been so tense and so, I don't know, we could go to the beach or to Acapulco, to Cancun. Like a honeymoon. Wouldn't you like that?
That's not bad. I'll think about it. But now, I'm going to bed.
And don't hide from me tomorrow, my love.
Hide from you? Me? Oh, Barbie,
Not
please.
even joking,
Oh.
really. No, my love.
No way.
Remember, my darling.
It really was the battery. It died.
Oh, well, charge it. Charge it a lot, my beautiful love. I love you. Oh, I'm so frustrated. Oh, so mad.
What's the matter, baby?
What's wrong with you? Like a shadow. How horrible.
Girl,
Hey.
I'm going to the kitchen.
You're drinking juice, that's all. When it's cold, nothing like a stiff drink to warm up the body, don't you think, Rodolfo?
Well, I guess so.
Sure, but on a night like this, well, a drink just isn't enough. I suppose there are other more pleasant ways to fend off the cold. Can't you suggest something more effective at calming this horrible cold that's running up and down my entire body?
Something more effective, well, such as what?
Who is over there?
I really don't know how this could have happened.
Come on, Eva, calm down, please. We're going to find out who did this. You should be glad that the collection was saved, as well as Venus.
But how much more, Andrea?
Hey, Eva, relax, please. It's over.
No, these things will never end, will they? Whenever I think I see a light at the end of the tunnel, something else happens that turns everything dark all over again.
You're just tired. It was a horrible day, and now this happened too. It's obvious you're tired, Eva.
Barbara, you should really try to keep your door closed. A woman should always keep her intimacies private to herself, you understand. And don't go rushing off to bed. Get dressed, because we're going to the company.
What? Oh, Auntie, no, you're mistaken. I'm not going anywhere at this hour. You know that I need at least 10 hours of beauty sleep to look this precious, okay? And they've already started. Anyway, I've had enough of Venus with that presentation from that idiot Eva about how to get out of bankruptcy or whatever. No, sorry, Auntie, I'm not going to Venus.
Hey. Stop with all the baby talk, Barbara, and go get dressed. I'm going to let your father know now that he's finally home. Rodolfo has got to come with us as well.
What for? Why do we have to go there?
Barbara! There was a fire at Venus.
What? A fire, really?
I swear I don't understand. This can't be a coincidence.
Everything's ready to go. The security personnel tell me they're ready to begin the initial stages of assessing the damages and trying to come up with possible causes. They're investigating. They notified the fire department as well, so they can start their own investigation. And the insurance rep is on the way.
And is there a risk of another fire here or not?
No, that's not likely. Everything is under control now.
One second. Junior, how are you?
Hello, beautiful. I just called to tell you that I'm thinking of you. What's that? What happened? There was a fire. No, No. Stay right there. Yes. No. I'm already on my way there. Yeah, wait for me. I'm coming.
So you're not going to tell me why you're so nervous then? Don't tell me that a woman so simple, like myself, makes you very nervous. I won't believe it. Don't tell me that because I won't believe you.
No, not at all. I don't think that you're a simple woman at all. On the contrary, you seem like a woman who's very complex. Maybe too complex for me.
Well, then I scare you.
It's just that my mind is preoccupied, obviously, because... But no, you don't scare me at all, not at all.
That's good, because I'm very good at getting rid of anxieties and sorrows.
I don't doubt that.
Tell me, what...
Am I interrupting?
I'm sorry. Who the hell are you? Another guest here? Well, I don't even know who lives in my own house.
Eva, please, I don't want to leave you alone now. Can't you see you're not well?
Look, relax, okay? I'm gonna be fine. I'm just a little nervous today, okay? Anyway, Junior's on his way, and then he's gonna take me back to my house.
Yes, he's a good man. I'm glad he's not a typical Altamirano.
Yeah, he's a very good man.
Listen, I told security to let him in when he gets here, okay?
Thank you.
I also told Federico to leave, but he doesn't want to. He says he wants to stand guard.
Hey, that's nice. We owe him a lot.
All set. The last security report indicates that everything's in order and the building is under control now.
Are you guys leaving together?
Yes. I'll take care of her. Will you be joining us?
No, I'm staying a little longer actually, and I need to calm down, and I have to wait for Junior as well, so...
Okay, let's go.
Yes. Listen, if you need anything, let me know, okay?
Yes, thank you. Take it easy and get some rest tonight, okay? Tomorrow's gonna be a hard day. We have to evaluate damages and figure out who might have caused this to happen.
Ya no puedo y te entrego lo que tengo, lo que queda en